Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Bim, bim, bim. Just bim. That's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam, thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, my people. LEMFI, the International Money Transfer Service, is here to provide you with a simple and efficient money transfer experience with no fees and the best rate in the industry. If you are in the US, UK, and Canada, LEMFI is here to serve you and help you transfer money to over 21 countries. In all ramifications, they are better than their competitors. We at the Dr. Damages Show are happy to partner with them to satisfy your needs. To that end, anyone who signs up with them using the referral code DOCTOR will get $30 cash back the first time you send $100 or more. From now until July 10th, 2024, LEMFI will enter your name into a raffle draw where you can win an iPhone, Apple Watch, MacBook, gift cards, and others. For an icing on the cake, the first 20 people to use Dr. Damages code DOCTOR will get a signed copy of one of his books, This American Life Safe or Chimamanda, The Adventures of Little Mermaid's African Cousin.
Never, ever accept because you are a woman as a reason for doing or not doing anything. All over the world, girls are raised to make themselves likable, to twist themselves into shapes that suit other people. Please do not twist yourself into shapes to please. Don't do it. If someone likes that version of you that is false and holds back, then they actually just like a twisted shape and not you. And the world is such a gloriously multifaceted, diverse place that there are people in the world who will like you, the real you, as you are. We females are so often socialized to silence. Don't silence that voice. Dare to take.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's so nice to have you join us today. This is your girl, Tope O. Welcome you to today's podcast. Before we move ahead, a big shout out to my very own gorgeous and intelligent sister, Adama, who celebrated her birthday last week. Happy belated birthday, beautiful. I would like to appreciate you for the continuous support, encouragement to me, and for your dedication towards the show. Wishing you blessings, love, and good health, Adama.
Thank you so much, Tope. I really am shocked you brought it up. Greetings, everyone, wherever you're watching us from. I really appreciate you, Tope. Oh my God, that met my heart. You know how busy I've been all week, but I thank you so much. I really appreciate the message. I just want to say greetings to our audience, wherever you're watching us today. We have a very interesting topic. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you all are looking forward to it as well. Okay, thank you. Tope, over to you.
Thank you, Adama. Today, our discussion will focus on the journey of infertility, faith, IVF, surrogacy, and adoption with stigmatization. And full disclosure, I do not believe or ascribe to the fact that one has to be first married before having children, or it's a must to want to have children. I believe everyone has the right to make that personal decision, and people need to respect people's choices and be supportive instead of being quick to pass judgment on people. So please join us today as we discuss the emotional struggles, denial, disappointment, hoping to provide enlightenment and awareness on this sensitive topic. Adama.
Thank you. Tope, just like you said, is a very sensitive but a much needed conversation that we need to have as a community. And like Tope said, we are going to be talking about infertility, surrogacy, and adoption. How does that affect us here in the diaspora, in the African community, women as a whole, and men? But we're going to focus more on our African community, where we grew up. For those of us that grew up here in the diaspora, for those of us who grew up back home, we want to dive into this topic. And all we're asking for is your audience is to please keep an open mind. First, I want to give a medical disclaimer. And the disclaimer is anything we're discussing here is just a conversation. Do not take anything we're saying as a reference or say, you got this from the Dr. Damages show. We're just having a conversation. Please seek medical help with your primary care physician first before you try any medical or go into anything we may be discussing about. Please discuss with your medical primary healthcare physician first before doing anything. Other than that, Papa, I think I'm ready. Are you ready? And we have Electricity here with us. So let's introduce him so that way we can everybody can get familiarized with who is on the panel. Electricity, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. While both of you are recognized as running the show and moderators on this particular subject, on behalf of the platform, on behalf of Dr. Rudolph and the board of directors of Iroko TV and every one of them, and on behalf of the ladies segment, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Please enjoy this very short clip that has been put together for yourself.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right, that's me done for that. All right, the floor is back to you, ladies. Thank you.
Wow. Papa is been up to. Thank you so much. It melts my heart. Given that I didn't have time to celebrate my birthday.
We're losing you. Adama, you're far away. We can't hear you, Adama. You're far away.
Okay, Tucker, you take over until she comes back. I think something is wrong with her network.
It was a great birthday.
Adama, we can't hear you.
I just want to thank this year
Okay,
has been a year that's taught me so
I
many
think she-
things.
all right.
You've been emotional.
And when I look at life and look at where I am today, I am so grateful for the love I have. And I want to give a shout out to my daughters, my siblings, my family, everybody, anyone that has loved me unconditionally. I just want to tell you, I know so many of them are watching. I love you. I appreciate you for putting up with me. Tokwe and Electricity, you guys mean so much. To Dr. Rudolph, I would forever remain grateful for giving me this platform to come be a woman without feeling judged. So I just want to say thank you so much. This met my heart, given how the crazy this week was for me. And I just want to give a shout out to my oldest daughter who is watching. I'm so proud of you. You know, this week was all about you. You're making us proud. Me and your dad, we are so proud of you. And the Lord is your strength, this phase in your life. Go and grab it. Thank you.
All right, talking the fly, Adama is emotional, which is understandable. So we'll give her that little few minutes, seconds to get herself together, and
All right.
we'll thank God for everything. So, Tope, I yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
All right. So growing up in Nigeria, I've seen instances when women are automatically blamed for not being able to conceive after being in a marriage for a couple of years, and is inhumanly tagged as being barren or infertile, even without being medically checked. Infertility, in a nutshell, is the inability to conceive despite frequent unprotected sex. This is not gender specific. It's important for us to note that. And this can happen to any individual. Some factors leading to infertility could include side effects of some medications used in the past or currently being used. It could be surgical history, genetic problems, and diseases. And this is why it's so important for everyone, irrespective of your gender, age, at a younger age, to get used to the practice of having regular medical checkup for early detection of any medical issues that can hinder fertility later on in life. For women, you have common issues such as cysts, fibroids, and other health issues. And for men, a low sperm count, which is not detected and treated early, can also impact on fertility. There are instances when we want to go on the route of faith and people go spiritual, seeking advice from their pastors, imams, native doctors, or soothsayers in search of the cause of their gynae issues, in an attempt to getting resolutions without focusing on the underlying issues causing infertility, and being in denial or believing this is a spiritual attack that requires special cleansing. This topic actually relates to me personally. In the course of our discussion, after Madam and Electricity have weighed in shortly, I'll be sharing my personal experience because I've actually been going through or had past experience of infertility as a person, and I want to use this platform to kind of share my experience going through this, just to be able to kind of give someone else going through this hope that we see you, we hear you, and there are options out there to help. Adama.
Stop it. I quite agree with you. I think some of us may know someone or may have heard someone that has been impacted with infertility in some point in your life, you know, or maybe going through it yourself. But my thing is, why do we frown on talking about it? Why is it we tend to put the fault on the women? Those are conversations we want to have tonight. And at the same time, what is it that our men can do to help their women when they're going through these hard times? So I look forward to us having this conversation. Let's all keep an open mind. Remember, let's be respectful with our opinions. You may not like whatever Tope, um, Adama, Electricity, or Ngozi may say, but I want you all to remain respectful. Thank you so much. Electricity, I'll pass
Ngozika,
it over to you. Oh, no,
okay,
Ngozika,
thank you.
sorry. Ngozika,
Ngozika is the
welcome to the
first.
show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Belated birthday wishes again.
Thank you.
Hello. Um. So I weigh in now or
Sure, go ahead. You can
later?
weigh in. Go ahead. Go in. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're dealing with all of them at once, or we're dealing with infertility first, or which one?
The focus is on infertility. The issue of surrogacy and adoption, it's they are byproduct of infertilities. There are options there. So, but the focus is on the infertility issue. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to be coming from the angle of a young unmarried woman that has never really tried to conceive, but I do have family and I do have friends. Almost all my friends are married. Most of them have kids. And one of them, my very close friend, actually, we call each other sisters now. She got married in 2018 and they've been trying to conceive. Fortunately, she got pregnant last year and now she gave birth this January. So I'm a godmother now. I have a godson.
Congratulations.
But from that 2018 that she thank you. I take my role very seriously. I know they slack. So I I was there. I was I had front seat to everything she went through. It was not funny. There was a time she had to stay over at my place for a couple of months. She lives in a different state. So she came to my state to do something and then she decided that instead of staying in a hotel or having to come from the family house that was a bit far away from town, she was better off in my place. And the husband knows me quite well, so they agreed that she would stay. She was at my place for like 4 months, and in those 4 months, I saw firsthand. Because anytime she had these struggles or the breakdowns, she would call me, she would cry, and all those kind of things. I'd comfort her. But in those months that she spent in my place, oh my God, it was something else. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, turn, and I'll see this girl crying her eyes out. She would have this worship song, GUC. She made me dislike the man because every time she was playing his song, she was crying, she was praying. Is it the treatments? Is it the endless tests? Is it the concussions they made her drink? Everybody was focused on her. I remember when I started actively being a part of her fertility journey or her conception journey, I told her, how far conceive here? You are going to carry the child, right? But there are two people trying to conceive here. How come it's everything is you, all the pills, you, all the concussion, you, all the prayers, you? What's going on? I said, Ne, have you people even been certified okay medically? She said she's okay. I said you people, I didn't say you. That's you and your husband. And that was when she told me. Apparently the fault wasn't hers. The fault wasn't hers. It was her partner's, her husband's. And for years she quote and unquote hid his shame and took all the assault society gave her. She never. I think the only other person that knew that the husband had some issues was probably her mom or maybe her dad too. These were the only. She couldn't even tell the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law was the one that even got me pissed off one certain time was when she told me that the mother-in-law was giving her concussion to drink. That was when I lost it. I told her, do you hate yourself that much? Do you know what you're doing to your organs? Why are you taking concussions? What is wrong with you that you have to be taking concussions? Tell her her son is the one that needs to be taking concussions and not you. What is all this now? Don't you like yourself? And she told me she doesn't like. I said, "Wow, you people that you always say you don't want to holler, you want peace. What is the peace here? You don't have peace. Look at you. Peace has run away from you. So what peace do you say you're trying to have? And is it people that will stop her in the street and tell her, if your husband is not doing well, come, let me do it for you. You people are taking too long." Or is it the ones that will stop her and tell her, come, I know where I will take you. They will inject you something and make your stomach grow big. Later, will help you buy baby. I heard things. That girl went through hell. And when she finally conceived, trust Nigerians with their unsolicited advice. Don't do this one. No. You should do this one. No. Do it like this. So. Don't do it like this. She had one of the most difficult pregnancies I've ever seen someone have. For months, her business was shut down. She was in and out of the hospital for months. And then after going through all this and giving birth, the next thing everybody was hounding her to get pregnant again. That this one that they were making it sound as if it was like a portal. They were like, this one that he has opened now, you better have all your children before it will close. And no, and this girl every single day, a part of her was chipping away. I've known her for a very long time, and she's such a happy person. She when I knew her initially, she was such a happy person. But every day with all these whole conception issues and going through a difficult pregnancy and giving birth, she was becoming like a shadow of herself. And I called her one day. I said, I can't remember the last time I saw you smile genuinely. You used to have such a very infectious laugh. I can't remember the last time I heard you laugh like that. And then she broke down. She broke down and she started recounting everything. So it hurts that when two people are trying to have a child, our society focuses on one person, and most at times the person is not even. The culture of silence has made it in such a way that even when you're not the one with the medical issue or the delay in your conception journey, the blame
Uh,
is on you.
Thank
This
you very much. Francisca, based on your story, that I'll leave the floor to the ladies because they're the one moderating. But I just want to ask a question. I mean, for you to further highlight something, just few seconds. She finally conceived and had a child. You said, what did they do? What did they do? Do you mind if you have insight in that? Would you mind
well,
sharing it because we're having a conversation?
finally, they did. Like I said, it was her husband. The husband, she will kill me if she finds out I said it. But thank God she's anonymous. They he got treatment, and the treatment, she was the one that insisted on it. He started getting treatment. Yeah, he started getting treatment. He started getting treatments from 2021. I'm talking really costly treatment because I was the one that connected her to the gynae that she finally connected the husband to. The guy was a general practitioner, physician. So they started treatment. He started treatment in 2021, and by 2023, they were able to conceive naturally. It was not IVF or surrogacy. They were able to conceive naturally. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So,
The ladies, the floor is yours. Thank you.
electricity, what is your opinion? Because I would like to hear from a man. Like, what do you have to say about infertility? Do you know someone that has been affected, or what is your like? I'd like to hear what is your opinion on infertility, and how do we approach that topic as in African culture? Like, how do we look at it? Why do we tend to always look at it as a woman's problem?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, how did you arrive at that conclusion that I'm a man? Anyway, that's just on the lighter mood. uh, you see, I think we don't have this conversation much, and it's not about education because, truth be told, Nigerians are highly educated, most Nigerians, and so it's not about that. It's about we don't have this conversation. Uh, the failure of us men, I mean, in my time, I've had a personal experience with, uh, I mean, people that are close to me and been privileged to also know others who are going through this same situation. And think the men, I mean, it's one of the most difficult thing to do is to fight culture and tradition. But I think the men, us men, hold that key to this, to changing the trajectory or the narrative of things if we provide support to our women in going through this issue of infertility. I mean, issue of finding it difficult to take in, and why most women are blamed. It's sad because, like Ngozika said in the story, the fault was actually the man, and why the woman also have to cover up for the man and subject herself to such ridiculous treatment. It's something that I personally cannot imagine why she has to do that because in her action is more or less promoting this negativity of infertility issue. But it's all about having this conversation. It's a sensitive conversation and something personally I'm not comfortable in talking about it, but I will talk about it because we have children, we have families who are going through these things. And if couples can come together, just the same way we talk about money, we talk about politics, we talk about sex, we talk about clothing, we talk about everything. We should be able to talk about this, have this conversation. So it's very, I think down to in summary, the issue is with the men in the sense that if the men can stand up for one, they are women, two, subject themselves to going through this medical or checking each other out, I think it will go a long way because if you, as the man in the home, and this issue is happening, given to the cultural background, if you stand your ground to tell your parents, you know what, enough is enough. This is my wife. It's our business. I think they will back off, and it will bring a lot of relief, distressing note to the woman. I don't know if I answered your question or am I listening, so I yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, you answered my question, but and I like what you said. Like, um, we need to have that conversation. And one thing I don't like our culture does is when it comes to childbirth, I know I see men who are older who want to get married to younger women. I don't have a problem with that, whatever your preference is. But I am of the opinion that you both need to go have yourself check out medically. When I say medically, a full check. There's something called you have to go to a urologist for the men. And like I said before I say anything, any medical this thing we're discussing here, this is a medical disclaimer. We're not giving out any advice. Please consult your primary care physician first before anything. So please, we're just having a conversation. I don't want anybody to quote Adama said this. For the men, they need to go see a urologist. There's something called sperm counts. Sometimes your sperm counts are low, is the truth. And in order for a woman to get pregnant, we need a sperm to be swimming. And at the same time, women, we need to go see a gynecologist, check your ovaries, check things that, make sure everything are functioning the way they should. And be open with your partner. For those who have had abortions, whatever you've done during your youth, or whatever you've gone through, those are conversations you need to have prior to getting married, figuring out, how many kids do you guys want to have? What's a health, what is your health status? Start from there. And it's not, it bothers me that we don't want to talk about it. And I understand it's a very sensitive topic. I'm a mom of two beautiful girls and a boy, and a son, a stepson. So I am proud of my kids. And at the same time, I would do anything for them. But do I know what it feels like to go through not having a child? No, I don't. But do I know someone who have gone through it? Yes, matter of fact, my own biological brother, who is older than me, went through that. And I saw the pain his wife went through and the pain my brother went through as well. So at the end of the day, we need to quit making the women, and at the same time let's stop making it our women feel like they're not women enough, like they've done something wrong. And I thank my mom for not making her feel it's her fault. And I would say part of it is my mom's exposure, because exposure is, I always say something, when it comes to men, how you treat your wife, you're telling your family how to treat her. For my brother, when it comes to his wife, he doesn't care who you are. You're going to respect his wife, regardless if you're his mom or dad. So, and I'm giving a shout out to him. He's listening. Both of them are listening. And I remember when they went through this, I really cried for her, because she's smart. She's a go-getter. But when it came to this, she fell short. And thank God they have 4 kids now. And I look back saying that the support we gave her as a family, we rallied around her, because sometimes it could be depressing. And I can say that she went through depression. She did. There were days she called me, she was at her lowest, and I wouldn't want any human being to feel what she felt, not even my enemy or someone I can't stand. So we as a society need to embrace and have that conversation. When you see a woman struggling, or when you see someone going through infertility, please, before you throw any judgment or start assuming, find out what is going on first. And I notice another thing, maybe I'm wrong. I notice people are not comfortable when it comes to talking about their health. They hold back a lot. Maybe it's me. I grew up here. They are not open when it comes when you meet an African, even when they come to the hospital, there are things they want to hold back to, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, well, I'm taking you back for surgery, better start telling me what they would want to hold back. But the point is, we need to realize one thing. There is one thing my dad always said: when it comes to your medical health, it's like a pregnancy. It's only a matter of time people are going to know what is going on with you. So the open you are with whatever you're going on, you don't know who you've helped along the way by sharing and being open about whatever health challenges you're going through. And I would like to say this, shout out to my sister-in-law, with her permission to share the story. I know she's listening. I love her, and I thank God she married into a family like ours, because I can't imagine her going what she went through with a family who did not give her that support. If I was to be in the position she was, I don't know if I could take it, but I thank God. I just want to say I love her. She's one of the best things that happened to my brother. And at the end of the day, we need to have this conversation and be honest and open about whatever we're going through. It's okay to not be okay. I always tell people that it's okay not to be okay. Thank you. Tokwe, over to you.
Thank you, Adama and Ngozika. Thank you so much for throwing light into this topic. For someone who experienced this, I know Adam had mentioned, abortion or things like that that may have happened when one was younger. Unfortunately, or will I say fortunately, I didn't go through any form of abortion. I never had any surgical issues or had medical issues or used any medication that led to what I went through. So my journey it started with early signs of heavy menstrual bleeding while I was in high school. So between the age of, well, I say 11, 16, I started experiencing early, signs of heavy bleeding. And along the years, this led to cysts and fibroids in my 30s. So fast track to my 30s, it led to cysts and fibroids. And then eventually I had series of surgeries in Nigeria and even in the United States, which finally impacted on my fertility issues. So I'll take it that the effects of the series of fibroids that I had actually ended up was what actually damaged my fallopian tubes, which ruled out that option for me to ever be able to conceive naturally. So at that point, I knew it, and I knew that the only option that I had available to consider if I wanted to be a mother later on in life as a single woman was to go through the other routes of either IVF or surrogacy or adoption. What I'll say saved me was the fact that I wasn't in denial. And I believe that's the major issue most of us have when you're either a man or woman going through issues regarding fertility. We kind of put a spin on it, on either blaming it on people from your village attacking you or spiritual reasons, instead of actually facing reality and not being in denial. So not being in denial was what actually worked for me. So I knew from the get go that having children naturally wouldn't be an option that I will be able to go through naturally. So I was focused on working towards IVF. So fast forward, I got married, and then as Adam had mentioned, it's very important that you have these kind of discussions with your partner before getting married, and that's to actually avoid issues and the depression and the lack of support when you get married and you now start having issues with conceiving. It's always good to give the disclosures, explain your situation. Some people want to trap a man or trap a woman without actually explaining their fertility issues before getting married. I was blessed to have a husband that was understanding. I'd explained my situation, and that the only option that I have at this point was to explore the option of IVF. For those who are not familiar with IVF, IVF basically is an in vitro fertilization. This is a process of fertilization in a lab where an egg is combined with the man's sperm and then transferred into the woman's uterus so that you can basically carry the child. Seeing if you're having issues such as I did in regards to a damaged fallopian tube. in my situation, also, the good thing was that as at the time I was going through the series of surgeries trying to take out the fibroids and cysts that I had had, my doctors had recommended a procedure to have me remove and do a retrieval of my eggs as a backup plan, just in case while going through a surgery to remove the fibroids, complications happen, and then I'll be in a position not to be able to even go through IVF eventually. So I went through that process of the egg retrieval, and unfortunately, there were complications back and forth with more fibroids popping up at different stages, which eventually damaged my uterus. So at that point in time, the idea that I had hoped for was no longer available, because at the point where the uterus, which is also known as the womb, where a woman uses to carry the child, is no longer available for me to be able to use to carry my own child. And I was faced with the discussion with my husband and the doctors, stating it was a case of a life or death situation, that I either keep my uterus and go through several other damaging issues that will be life threatening, or I take out the uterus and go through a hysterectomy. So basically, a hysterectomy is the process where you're removing the uterus or the womb. It could either be a partial one or a full hysterectomy. Fast down the track, I went through that process of hysterectomy, and again, the question was, am I going to give up, go through that depression Ngozika talked about? Yes, I went through that depression. I know what it feels. It was heartbreaking. But the most important thing is to have a good support system. I had a wonderful mother who was very supportive, sisters, friends, my husband, going through those doctors' offices, appointments. It's very overwhelming and very emotional. So I do understand. I relate to that depression Ngozika went through. And so that was how we had no other choice than to explore other options. Because at that point, I was in the place where I was like, I was going to keep moving forward, that I'm going to have my own child. And there was no stopping me. There was no way I was going to not explore all options possible. With that being said, I'll allow Mr. Triumph to come in, and then I'll use the other part to discuss my journey with surrogacy. Mr. Triumph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before he come in, can I say something, please?
Yes.
Tope, I just want you to know how proud I am of you, and you know what I'm talking about. Not only am I proud of you, whoever that is listening to this, you have impacted someone today. I'm saying that because I have gotten to know you, and you're one of the kindest soul I can pick up the phone and call you. We can talk about anything. Thank you so much for choosing this platform to share your story. Not only are you brave, but at the same time, I want you to know that I am proud of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Adama, for the nice words. Mr.
Mr.
Triumph.
Triumph, over to you. Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Tokwe, I'm proud of you, and I heard what you just said. It is touching. It's only when you have a very cooperative partner and someone that have an open heart. Problem we have back, generally, we Africans are the culture. And thank God you have a supportive husband. If not, the family will be telling him aside, go and get a second wife. Honestly speaking, understand? So one thing is that kudos to that man too. Kudos to that man. I can say I can relate to you also. But one thing is that before you go into relationship or before getting married, during your courtship, you have to talk. Both couples have to open up about the life before, present, and how are you going to cope. You understand? During your courtship, that's when you have to say everything out. And I know that is not that so easy. Bringing things out, first of all, you be afraid. Is when you have a lot of confidence, trust, then you start speaking out things out. Because I remember my own issue. Do you know that I can tell you some things that is very painful when you're in you with your friends, so-called friends, outing. They'll be asking you, "Are you not shooting right?" You understand? But you smile in everything, but it's very, very painful. We the men, we don't see things out because we are brought up to hide our sentiments. You understand? But I know how my own situation went. It was a journey, and again that it was after my marriage. It took us 3 years after the 4th year that she took in. Understand? Sometimes when you took it, when your woman takes in, she has miscarriage. It's very, very painful. You think this is the right time. This is the right time. This is the right time. But it took time. Understand that that's what some of my friends call me Bunty. That I'm a white man. That I have an open heart. I love listening to people. And one thing that is not that so due to my own culture, I know where I came from. They don't accept so many things. They'll be giving you options. And one thing that I also agree with Adama concerning his own brother also, that I know that you can't talk bad about my family in front of me. You can't. I'll bite you off. So that's just it. Understand? So I cannot go into detail like talk about just for future reference. You understand? I don't want somebody to come out after me, start using it against me. I know that's why I have to keep some things private to respect my partner also. But kudos to you, Tokwe. I respect you a lot for that. Okay? Thank you very much. And
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Triumph.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Triumph.
okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
You
Mr.
know,
Janaba, welcome to the show. And the Blackstone, welcome. I don't know who came in first. Is it Mr. Janaba or the Blackstone?
Let's take Elder. Let's take Elder.
We came in the same time.
Let's take Elder John Abba. Welcome.
Tope, when did he become elder?
Uh, did you miss the last segment? He placed us and said, "Do not refer me to as John Abba again." So he's Elder John Abba.
You
and
want you
elder
want
speaks
you
last. Oh.
I think you want to
Elder speaks
respect your
last. Oh.
testimony and state your number because that was made up by Pastor Andrew. So I do not say that. He was calling me like it's my mother or my father. So I told him to stop.
Mr. Janaba,
Yes.
over to you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for joining us. Thank you.
And before I start, this Mr. Triumph is talking about the woman in Nigeria or the one in Europe.
Good question. Please answer.
Mr. Triumph.
Today, you guys have come. Oh. Uh, I have only one. Oh. I beg.
Okay. I know you come to the living room to talk. If not black lady you marry, now you go to talk anyhow from the bedroom. But it's okay. We are in the living room. All right. Let me say that. All right. Thank you. I'm kidding. Talk Radama and Ngozinka. Godinka is always my baby. Pastor. You guys know I went all the way to Enugu to meet with Ngozinka. That's how serious she is to me. So, thank you, Tokwe. Your story is very encouraging, and I know you share it in order to encourage other people out there. And it's brave. It's it's a life lesson. Uh, it's everything, our life journey, and for you to share it with us today. I want to thank you that you have blessed so many people and encouraged people, especially where we come from. My big brother,
Thank you.
his name is Pastor David Abba in New York, and he has gone around to be a deeper life pastor, and his own is even has to do surrogate. So he encouraged people. I was lucky. My own work, I don't know what happened. So it's a very encouraging thing to let our society know that those things, there are many ways to get things done. And if you really want to get it done, be open about it, be transparent, especially to your partner. A lot of marriages today, if you don't have a good supportive system from your home, right from that is a big struggle because in our society it's almost like a stigma, but uh, that's not what it is. There are always a way out if we seek for it. And people like us, I'm from a polygamous home, so I love family and big family. But to my surprise, when I got married, uh, my wife said one thing we did not talk about was her having a baby. I thought it's a package. I thought it come like that. That I don't know the African man have to talk to another African lady that will you have a baby for me or not? So I said, okay, what is it now? Well, she said, no, I love you. I'll have a baby for you. I said, wow. So we have to talk about it. I don't know that. So it's a very big shock for me. But that is how it goes in many things. And people should be open about their life and talk to your partner, how you want to live your life with your partner, baby issues. And most importantly, it's a misfeeling. Sometimes we think that outsiders or other extended family does not matter. Sometimes they matters, and sometimes there's a way you push back on them. Say, okay, mind your business. But sometimes you say, no, this is our business. So it's a very big thing beyond you and your husband, sometimes or your wife. But then, if when you have a good partner to work with, you make it a lot easier. So, in summary, thank you to Tokwe for sharing with us. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder John Aber. Thank you so much for the words of wisdom. We appreciate you. The Blackstone, welcome. Thank you so much
And
for.
this is the last time you come here, Dajanaba. I told you that was calling me by
Okay,
that.
okay. Will pastor work or
That
uncle?
pastor need deliverance. It's his own word. Don't go
No, no.
there.
I said for to call you pastor. Will that work?
No, call me Jonah. I'm just joking. You guys should get used to me. You guys take me too serious.
Okay,
Get used to
it's
me.
just too hard for my mouth to call you as my elder, to call you John like that.
No, call me Jonaba. I'm fine with Jonaba. Call me John.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
And yeah, call me John. I feel free to call me John. It make me feel more better and make me more of equal to everybody. If no, if you call me the elder, you will not hear joke from you. Now I'll place
Oh,
myself in a different way. Oh.
okay, John. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
The Blackstone, welcome. I'm so glad to see you today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy to be here. And as I say, good evening to everybody, Ngozika, Pastor Andrew, to you, Tokbe, Adama, and Mr. Triumph. Thank you for. I did come in time, so I did miss some of the presentation people gave, and I just came here and met a part of what Adama was saying, and thank you for being open, being yourself, and what you have spoken also encourages me, because I also have somebody who I know very dear to me, close to me, who have been married for, I think, for almost 15 years now, but no issue, they're not, the wife has not been able to put to bed for more than 15 years, So I don't know so much about these issues of surrogacy. I do hear about IVF, because I don't know so much about it. And this program, I think, have also given me some idea about these things. And then from what you have given us, from your story, from your experience, it has actually opened my eye, and I will try to do more research in this area. Because, for example, I think one of the things you have to know is that being open in a relationship, even before you go into marriage, we should know who we are, right? And the woman should be able to both man, the man and woman should be able to open to themselves, because this issue of infertility is not only from the woman, it can also be from the man. It's both sides, depending on where it's coming from. And when the both partner are able to come out open, truthful to each other before they even go into marriage or anything like that, they will know what is ahead of them. I know today most of the Christians will say, no, we are not going to sleep together to get married, and then they had a lot of information, they keep it to themselves, and after getting married and everything, these issues begin to pop up in the marriage and begin to give issues. You understand me? So I think that there should be an open-minded discussion. If you really want to go into marriage, we all want to spend the rest of your life with a woman, both of you should be open-minded. And when we know this, then the both can decide if to go on with it and face what it takes, or they can decide to go apart. That will depend on both couples who are involved in it, right? So, and I think that when we know what we are sexually, or issue of fertility and things like that, before we decide to live together, to spend the rest of our life together as husband and wife, or whatever it might be, this will also prepare our mind that whatever it goes to come up, we can face it together. I know sometimes it's very difficult to be or to know a person that will not be able to produce or come out with a child with you and things like that. I know most people will say, no, I'm not going to go along with it. And it is good, whatever decision you take, but it's also very good. I think the bottom line is that let's be open to ourselves at the very beginning, when you are not decided, if you have decided to go together to become one, to live the rest of your life together. Let's bring out these issues. Go for medical tests. Let's see what is there and things like that. And then the alternative, the other things, I know, but those people in diaspora might be cheap for them to do. But about those in Nigeria who doesn't have the money to go through the medical procedures and all these things, IVF is also cheap in Nigeria. And who are you going to tell in Nigeria to have a surrogate, go through surrogacy and then come with a child, So So there are so many in Nigeria. There are so many things. There are so many factors that people will not like to go into or even to talk about. And this also is a very big issue. I really appreciate you, Tokbe, and I'm glad that I'm going to learn more from this topic. It's a pity that I didn't come in time, right? Because I have somebody who's going through this issue and things like that. They are still believing God because they are very strong. They are very strong Christians. As a pastor, they say they don't have no issue and things like that. There's no medical issues, and so on and so forth. But I don't know how far is that true. Whatever I learned from this topic today, I will also share it with a man, which is very close to me, and see by God's grace how it to go. Thank you so much, Tokbe and Adama and Ugozika, who brought out their own experience to the public, and you are strong women. You are women of dignity, and people should learn from this, and that's all we see. And with them, they can decide what they will do and how they go about it. Thank you.
Thank you, the Blackstone. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad. The aim of this podcast is just to touch one person. If it's only one person that we can impact with this conversation, our day will be made. Thank you so much, Blackstone. Kene, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Adama. Thank you, Tope, for this.
Welcome, Kene.
For this too.
How can it be a Kene when you say free una the Kanu?
It has always been my motto until Nnamdi Kanu is released. I will always have it there. So
good.
this is the. I think I will code what I'm saying because the kids are around. So and before you know, they start using their Google to check up things. I think we need to really appreciate science. And by the way, thank you, Tope and Triumph for sharing your side of the journey. It's not easy. I don't know how that is. I've never felt that. I don't know, man. I think for some of us that have not experienced this, we should be grateful to God and be grateful to mankind as well. Because I don't know how it would have been for me. But we're talking about is it surrogacy, right? Adoption. I think, like I said earlier, we should be very, very grateful to science because before now, the way and manner our forefathers handled these issues are so disheartening. It's always the woman's fault. The man is on the good path or on the good list all the time. To an extent that some will even encourage their friend or their brother to go and knock the woman to see if she go carry belly, that kind of a thing. And it was acceptable in our society. And again, today, even in this modern age, I think some of us need to still be grateful to God. Because I sometimes I imagine how the poor, the downtrodden, will be able to afford the cost of this surrogacy thing. I'm going to share this event, or I don't know how to put that, but this is what is going on in Nigeria. But I don't know about other African country whereby couple are having issues with fertility, and as usual, it's always the woman's fault, and you see where mothers will be encouraging the daughter, hey, go out, see another man making IQ, that kind of thing. And she'll be going around from Mr. KK to Mr. Kafo to Idewu to Tunde. Try Tunde today, it will not enter. After a few months or after a year, she will leave Tunde. Try Obadia, So it's really no, Kene will not enter there. Me now. So the thing is, sometimes I pity the women. Like, what is really wrong with us?
knowing quite sure that it's the man's fault. The man will know that it's coming from him, but he will not come out openly to admit to his people that, hey, it's my fault. He will be hiding it. And then be behind closed door, behind him, the woman will be trying some other alternative, which at the end of the day, if he happens to be aware of what is going on, he will not be happy with her. So these things go on because the woman, the way and manner the society bedevil the woman when it comes to this kind of thing makes them most times they don't open up. They would rather be seeking alternative solution. And where there is no money, she will be trying other he goes around, and then when it comes to personally, I wouldn't want if it's my fault, God forbid, I wouldn't want my somebody else, or I don't know how to put that. I don't want somebody's this thing to be harvested and used to fertilize my wife's this thing. I don't know. I don't know, man. Let me not say something that I don't really
Are you
mean.
saying that you're not open, or you don't agree with the idea of a sperm donor? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, let me put it straightforward. If I'm unable, if it is my fault, I would rather just stay without a child.
So what about the woman? So you're going to not put her in that situation and let her not have kids, or are you going to give her the option to go outside?
Now you see, you are giving me that, you're putting me in that difficult area that I don't want to go to now. So the thing is, we are married and it's my fault. It's very difficult to. No, she can adopt if she wants. That's fine.
Okay, adopting is okay. Okay,
yeah,
no problem.
She can adopt, but
okay, so
that is for her.
If it was the other way around and the woman had fertility issues and you didn't have the fertility issues, would you succumb to her agreeing to adoption and not having kids? Would you want that?
Again, if it's like I stated earlier, if it is my fault, it is okay for her to adopt me. I'm not part of it,
But if it's her fault, is what I'm saying.
If it is her fault,
would you still agree to adopt and not go outside
we need to talk now, right? We need to talk. It's either I hammer somebody else, or
it's allowed for you to hammer somebody else outside if it was her fault, but if it's your fault, she can adopt. Is that what you're saying? She can't hammer someone else.
If she hammers somebody else, I don't think I will recover from it. You see the problem here.
But she'll recover from it if you hammer someone else, right? Can I?
Hold on now. You see, that is where we are. You guys are putting this thing now. But I understand where you are going. I understand the situation. But sometimes, human beings will tend to be selfish most times, I go hammer somebody else for me to have peace of mind. I'll be honest with you. Oh, I'm on phone.
Adama, can you hear Kene?
I'm hearing him. He's being genuine. He's being genuine as an African man.
No, I'm just being honest with you here. I know Queen TA is saying absurd. I don't know what to do. See, hammer my woman, I will not sleep again. See, you guys.
Hey! Akene?
Can you drive the woman away, or can you drive the woman away from the home?
If you hammer behind me and I don't know, that is fine. You right? But if I know, hey.
No, can I wait first? Can I wait first? If you hammer behind you, then now she's pregnant, and later you do a DNA and say the child is not from you, what will you do?
That one is even deadly. I said that one is even that one will kill me right now. That is another problem.
Please, this is the question I want you to be realistic, and let's have this conversation. Okay.
No, I'm being real here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you find out it's not her fault, it's your fault.
Yes.
You're open to adoption. That's what you said, right?
No, the adoption is not for me. I don't need it. because it will be a reminder for me. Oh, this is not your child. Like, it's not yours. Like, what are you doing? You're fooling yourself, calling somebody else's child. It's not yours. I can help to
Ah,
let those things. But
But
Ekene.
if you
Ah,
had the, but
it's
if
okay
you
for
had
her
the
to have.
issues, Kene, if you
Hmm?
had the medical issues that can be
Yes.
resolved, you'll be open to adoption, but she can't have kids outside, right?
No, she's my wife now,
Ah,
right? She's my wife.
Adama,
So
can you hear the double
hold
standard?
on now. Hold on now. Now it's her fault, right? Are you talking about when it's her fault, right?
Yes, if it's no, I'm saying if it's your own fault that you have
No,
fertility
she can
issues,
adopt. She
she
can
can
adopt.
she can
Person no go
adopt,
give am belly.
but if she has fertility issues, she's not allowed to adopt. You can go outside and have
The
kids. It's not your
adoption
fault.
that if she has fertility issue, that child that I will get from hammering from outside, is it not our child? Is it not me and her? Is our child now?
But
Okay,
there is
okay,
no,
okay. Now,
no, no.
can I
Can you
see?
say
Why the need of adoption when I
no?
go fit go
No.
hammer carry her
Can
come?
you say? How can you say is you post child when you have a child from another woman? So it's not even our child too. That's what it is.
But the blacks, so let's
But
be
she can't
realistic.
have.
Let's be
But
realistic
she
here.
can't have.
A lot of these women go
But she can't
outside
have.
and bring in women for their husband to impregnate.
But that's a totally different discussion.
No,
Adama.
no, no,
We're
no, no,
talking
no.
about
Tokwe, he
You see
said,
this
no,
thing?
no,
now.
Tokwe, he said
You see
something.
this one he just said now? That will be the finest of it. Let
That's
her
what I'm
with her own
saying.
hand go carry
Yeah, she
another
will
person
go.
come
She
here.
knows she cannot give birth. I'm telling you, she
Honestly.
will know. There's
Wait,
something
though.
called in the Igbo culture. Ekene knows what I'm talking about. It's not just in the Igbo culture, it's maybe in every culture. Where they marry a certain woman. I remember my grandpa saying that story. What that person is meant for is just to give birth.
Just
So
like Sarah and Sarah in the Bible. And
Somebody suggesting I can get a donor this thing. Why donor? Now why I can put something straight, it will enter. Why am I donating anything?
This is the thing. This is the thing. I agree with the part. I agree with what you said. Is this? If your wife is okay with you going to have a baby with her consent, I have no problem with it. But the problem is most of the time when the woman find out, the woman is close to giving birth yet. So it's not you guys, you're not transparent when you're doing these things. So, but I'm not saying that's for every man who does this.
Definitely,
Some men are
I have
transparent.
to be very open
Yes.
and transparent with her.
So if it works for both of you, who
our
am I
journey.
to say you shouldn't?
It must be our journey, our struggle, not trying to. What am I hiding? She's my wife, man. What
Okay,
will
so
I
if
hide?
it's a revised case, then you should be open to her going to make more babies for you guys and bringing it in.
He doesn't agree to. That's what I'm
Let me ask a question.
You see,
Can I
I'm not just playing a
let me ask
devil's
you a
advocate
question.
here.
Let me
I'm
ask you
just
a
telling
question
you.
now.
I mean, opening up my mind here right now. I'm not playing any devil's advocate. See, if it is the reverse now, it's okay if I don't know. Like I said, if I'm not aware of it, or if I know, I will be dying silently. You guys see, men here, you know that I'm saying what is real.
I'm with you 100%, Mr. Kenyon. Me, I know what.
Okay, Mr. Kenne. Okay, Mr. Kenne. Hold on. Kenne. Okay, if the woman now that not gave you a child, later not change her mind that he want to come and be a part of that family, of your family.
Pardon me? Sorry. Rephrase
if the woman that now gave you a child from outside, right? Now later change her mind and said, I want to become a part of your family. Then what will you do?
It's up to my wife to agree or not.
As a second wife now.
No. I can't destroy my home with my own hands. But if my wife wants
she's
to
good
come
enough for you to make kids with, she should be good enough for you to marry her.
It's okay if my wife agreed to that. No, Allah, I will try to convince my wife. Because sometimes, most times, if she comes in knowing that the first wife is not doesn't have a child, it must some second wives would tend to mock the first one, making her feel bad, and I wouldn't want that
That's
to happen
true.
to her.
That's true, Mr.
So
Kinu.
to
That's
avoid that, she has to approve if she's coming in or not, and she must have a condition. The condition is that we don't want that kind of nonsense in this family. If you are coming with this kind of nonsense, I will divorce you. So you have to accept everybody as one. Your child is our child. You don't mock the first wife. She has a place as the first wife. She has a respect. You will never bring that issue up whenever, no matter how the problem is between you and her, you don't insult her or kind of talk down on her because you don't have a child. You don't do that. Any day you do that, I swear you go to your father's house that day. No
But
reverse. No
I'm of
45.
the I'm of the opinion that if you want to have all this extra monitor this thing and you decide to marry that person, please get a place for them to stay. So whenever you want to see that person, you guys will see each other. Even if you marry, let me stay as the house both of us have. I don't
Okay.
want, because
See,
yes, it makes
you are
it
the one
easier.
saying this.
This
So
is just my
what?
thinking,
Yeah.
This
What
is
if
just
two
my
of them?
thinking.
What if two of them eventually like themselves and say, see, three of us will be sharing the same
Forget
bed
it.
and
Two
all that.
women staying
See,
together. Two women staying together. It's just like, let me be honest with you. Let's be realistic. Women are the most difficult people to deal with.
Sure, I know that.
And they are very pretentious when they need something. They will act anyhow. They will make you lovable. It's just like a man telling you, oh, baby, I love cooking. As soon as you guys get married, he doesn't know yet how to boil water. So the point I'm trying to say is that people will say or do anything just to come in. But as a man, if you know you're unable, your wife cannot produce or she's unable to have a child, I think you being her partner is for better or for worse. You should look at adoption. And for you to say, oh, I should be able to go out there to have other children, I'm open to that as well. So long as your wife, your partner, approves of you going to have another child with
What if
someone
she doesn't?
else.
What if she refused to approve that?
What can I say? Because at the
if
end
she
of the day, you are reminding her of the pain she is going through as a woman, not being able to give you what you want as a man.
Okay, let me bring it down here. If it is her fault that she can't conceive, right? Okay, if it is my fault that she can't conceive, it's okay for her to adopt, right? I'm open to that. She can adopt.
But
No
you're
problem.
not open to her getting
To be hammered,
sperm
to be
donor.
hammered, to be hammered by another person.
No, it doesn't have to be hammer. She can get
Okay.
a sperm donor.
No.
Hello, my
That
dear.
one is
Hello, my dear.
semi to hammering. See, the thing is, it's
Go and
okay.
get a white man sperm.
No, I can't do that. See, it's okay for her to adopt. That's fine. But if it is if it is her fault, right? See, the child that we are going to adopt, is it not somebody else's child? But what if I use my own to produce the same child? I think it makes better sense, right? Now,
This is what I'm saying. This is what I want you to, so that you get a scope of that question. As a woman, if I was to be in that situation, Adama is in that situation, and I know I can't give you, and I know I love you, okay? I will give you the approval to go have it outside.
Good.
But I don't want, listen, I'm of the belief of this thing. Listen, I like my peace of mind in my environment. Keep that person. The child is always welcome because the child is not a child's fault. But what I am trying to make you understand, if you find yourself in a situation where she said, no, I don't want you to go outside to have a child, then you both need to sit down and reevaluate your relationship, where everybody starts figuring out, do we want this marriage or we call it quits? Because there's no point of me staying with you if I know I cannot stand you going outside to have another child with someone else, if I know I'm not going to put up with it. So the good thing, in as much as it may hurt, I'm speaking, I'll let you go.
You are right. You are very, very right. But it will be very hurtful to
Yeah, it could
see
be
that
hurtful because, but
it's
I
because
gave
of
you two scenarios,
childlessness.
correct?
Yes.
And I gave you two scenarios. The first scenario was what? I said, if I give you the approval to go have that child, just make sure you get a place for that
Adama,
person to
Adama,
stay, and the child can always come to visit.
Adama, I'm sorry for chiming in. I just need 2 minutes. My husband just wanted to talk for like 1 minute because he's on his way out.
Okay.
Just his experience.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello,
Welcome
hello,
to the show,
hello.
sir.
All right. She just approached me right now to express my experience with our own baby, and I'm not sure what you all have been talking about, but just to briefly state my own experience, it was our last hope, and we had to do surrogacy. Otherwise, there was no chance of bearing any fruit of the womb other than adoption. Adoption was not our top priority. So we were lucky to get a surrogate that was almost like ourselves. She catered to the baby, unborn baby, up until the last minute. If it was somebody that was careless, the baby would have died. And so if anybody's considering it, it's a little pricey, but I think it's worth it. The baby came out a replica of me. Somebody didn't like it, but that was the choice of God. So baby is turning 4, I believe, Monday. She'll be 4. Very lovely girl, very, very, very full of life. Addition of joy to the family, and I won't do otherwise.
And Kene, it was his sperm and it was my eggs. You remember I had mentioned that I had saved. God gave us the blessing to be able to save my eggs.
Yes. So in this case, very marvelous, very good. Like nice
Yeah,
option, and
yeah.
thank God it worked.
Sir, I just want to tell you how proud and how much we are on behalf of this platform, how much we appreciate you giving us, sharing your experience, a little bit of it with us. And wherever people are listening, we don't take it for granted. We really appreciate you. Thank you. And I know your daughter, I've got to see her and everything. And trust me, she is a blessing. And she happened to be my birthday month, August baby. I always tell people, if you want to marry August baby, they're the best. So,
I'm glad you guys are discussing all these things. To those who
yes,
are yet
sir.
to benefit from it, wish you all the best. Beg to excuse myself. You have a good evening.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so much, sir. We
Thank you,
appreciate you. We appreciate you.
So,
So,
I think I understand the scope of your question, but the thing is, yeah, yes, if she gives the approval of having maybe a second wife or somebody, but the thing is, the child is mine, and I wouldn't want my child to be in a different house and then be visiting his father's house. Why would my child be visiting my house when he's the owner, is part of the house? He should live with me. We're one big family, right? I think my first wife should accommodate having the other one in the same house. I think it's now in that point. At that point, it will be my responsibility now to find a way to making sure that there is peace in the house. Else, it will turn out to be hellfire. So, I think I have to work hard to make sure that
it is easier said than done.
Please, can I ask
yeah, I know it's
Tope
easier.
a
I know
question?
it's easier. That is why we don't really pray for this kind of situation, because it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
Can I ask Tope a question, please?
yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, Tope, if now I want to be realistic with you. If now what you did the last 4 years did not work, will you permit your man to get a child outside? Yes or no? Just I want to hear from you.
This is a personal thing. Yes, I won't mind, but I I will explore. I will explore adoption. I will explore. I'll explore an egg donor. I'll explore an egg donor. They are two different things. Going outside means you're telling him to go and start, having a relationship with a woman. I can get an egg donor. I can get an egg donor, and then we'll still use the sperm if I had an issue. So he doesn't have to
Okay.
go outside and have a relationship. Having a relationship is different.
No, no, because of one thing is that listening to Ekene said that if the woman was the problem, that when you know that he can be a good striker, why can't he strike on
Okay.
his own?
Trump, let me make it clear here, right? See,
Okay.
I'm of the belief that okay, there is this Igbo tradition or belief that it's called affirmation, right? I uh, coincidentally, I strongly believe in that. Affirmation means my name. Who is
We
good
not
in
lost.
Igbo? Yeah,
My
my
name
name
we
is
not
not
lost.
lost. Yes. So if it is if the problem is from her and I'm good to go, honestly, the option of egg to donate SP and all that, right? No. I must have it with my own. I'm just being honest here. But I'm
Okay,
just
okay,
have
let me
it
say
with my
something.
own.
Okay, let me say
If she
something here.
refuses
Right.
vehemently, I will go behind her, shoot it
Can,
somewhere, keep it. She will not know.
Okay,
can
the
I,
Blackstone,
can I,
before you
excuse,
say, go
okay,
ahead, the Blackstone, can you speak for a few minutes? Then we need to bring in
okay,
electricity to comments. Thank you.
all right. Because what I'm trying to say here, that if the issue like what Tokme did, it can be done. If you fail once, can try again, right? It doesn't mean that if you fail once, you cannot try again. Because first and foremost, the carrier have to go to medical test to make sure that that person is fertile, is highly fertile, can be both have a high fertility rate, and can be able to carry and fertilize that eggs. You understand me? So it's not a matter of maybe if you fail one, we do it. No, you can do it again because it's a contract. You understand me? So you can do it again, and like many people do IVF more than 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I know somebody in Lagos now, though the husband is the husband is a millionaire and everything. She has spent more than 30 million naira on IVF, but it has not been successful.
Right.
Okay, can you wait on before anybody says anything? There is something I'm seeing on the comment section. And I
Right.
just want to let the people in the comment section be aware of this. The issue we are discussing is a very sensitive topic. And this is regarding to someone named Soji Adamo or whatever your last name is. Sir, please, I would love you to respect everybody's opinion on this platform. You do not have to write on the chat. This is a verbal warning. If you don't stop, you're going to be banned. So I'm telling you, you need to be respectful. It's either you eject yourself or you will be banned. Thank you. Can we continue?
Okay, so this family has spent almost 30 million on IVF several times, but has failed, right? So you don't give up when you fail once. You try again and again and again. So that is for me is a process. That's I think that should be the process. If the person that have agreed to be the carrier and first one failed, it can try again, right? And I believe that the second one can be successful. So I think that's even the best. Anyway, for me, that's what I think, because definitely the egg and the sperm comes from the two couples who are involved in it. The other person is just only a carrier. So
Yes,
that for
I
me is
think
the
that is
best.
equally good.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Ekene, before you answer, could we have electricity talk? And electricity, I know you heard what Ekene was saying. Ekene was kind of pushing back and said, if it was his fault and he was not able to produce, and the wife is not the wife's fault. He's open to adoption if that's what she wants. And if it was the woman's fault and he's able to produce, he would like to go make like have another woman outside, have his children, and then possibly bring her to the family, maybe as a second wife, if the wife approve. So that's what we're discussing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I heard everything Kenneth said, and if I say I wasn't taken aback by Kenneth's arguments, I would be lying. Of course, I've known Kenneth a lot, and I did not expect such views from him, given to his level of enlightenment and education. But I'll forgive him. Yeah. I owe him that forgiveness. Yeah, but Kenneth, we have to be reasonable here. They say what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. I hope that is not the case. I hope you say you are not playing the devil's advocate. Initially, I thought you were playing the devil's advocate. But put yourself in the shoe of the woman. You are now the woman, and you are hearing this same thing you said from your partner. That's a question to you. How would you feel, Kenneth? Please, I need you to answer that question if you don't mind.
Okay. You see, there is a somebody made a statement, kind of made reference to Bible or wedding oaths, for better for worse, right? For better for worse. So we are in this suffering together. So that must be understood by both couple. We are in this suffering together. If it is my fault, like I said, it is okay for her to adopt. This has nothing to do with my level of exposure or enlightenment. It's just me as a person, as a human being with emotions, right? With likes and dislikes. Now, if she comes up, let me assume she comes up with the idea of getting something from a man, and use on her, or having another man to knock him, I would not be pleased with that. Mm-mm. But if she comes with, or if you
Ekene, must you describe it like that? Must you, Ekene, must you describe it like
children are
that?
here now. Children are here. So if she comes up with the idea of adoption, that is okay. It's fine, right? But if it flips on the other side and it happens to be her fault, right? And she comes up with the idea of adoption, which is not bad as well. But personally, I will not be okay with that. It's okay if she's not okay with her adopting, the option of her adopting. See, sometimes we do things out of, some people call it love, but you will be dying in silence. So at that point, we need to, like Adama or Tope, your voice kind of sound alike. Suggested that it's time to renegotiate the relationship or something, which would be very, very hurtful, because not being able to conceive shouldn't be a problem between, shouldn't end the relationship or the marriage.
Right,
But personally, as an Igbo man, as an African man, as someone that have something that, see, Afamefuna is very deep with me. So I don't think,
understand.
yeah.
Thank you very much for your honesty.
Please, what's the meaning of Afame Funai? I know it's a name.
Oh goodness!
That means his name is not lost. That means
Yeah.
his name is not lost.
You have to have
His lineage did not lost.
yeah, my
His
lineage
did
should
not
not be
lost.
closed.
Yes.
But when your stuff is not working, your name can lose, right?
Because she's married. No,
Thank you, Mr. Janaba. That's
hold
a
on
good
now.
one.
Thank
Hold
you.
on.
Please, can you repeat it, Janaba?
Janaba,
You were very
Janaba,
silent.
see, if my John Thomas is not working, that is a different story now. I will know that this is my fate. This is how nature want it for me, which means Afam go eventually fuel, right? But we're in a situation where I still have the potential not to allow my name to disappear like that.
So,
So
Kenneth,
how would you feel on your dying bed? You know that you don't have anyone to take over from you.
Mr.
Your
Kenneth,
lineage
let me
is
ask you a
shut down.
question.
How
It's
would you
sad
feel?
that
Mr. Kenneth,
Adama, but Kene is really
if all your children,
reality
It's being
for
real.
your,
It's
sad.
being real.
what do
Let
you
us be honest. Yeah,
wait?
let us be
If
honest.
all your children are females, what will you do?
Female?
Yes, if
It
your
does
children are
not
females.
matter now.
Female children and male children are the same. If I have all female,
No,
that is
yes.
four.
So no, you said your name. You
Mm,
understand me? So
a
the
female
children are
child
not going
in
to bear
Igbo
your
land
name.
can stay in her father's house and bear children. Don't you know that?
Okay.
She must not get married now. She can still have child, in her father's house that will take up, that will
N-
represent the father.
It's being real. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
being real. Yeah. Like, let me ask you this question. Like in the issue,
Hold on,
when
Mr.
both
Triumph.
couples,
Before you say anything, I want to make
okay,
sure. Electricity, are you done saying what you have to say before we go to Triumph?
Uh, yes, can I thank you for that. After Triumph, we look at what is highlighted on the screen for us to explore it and discuss it. Thank you very much. I yield the floor back to you.
hello, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Triumph. You on?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is where I'm coming in now. When both of you are medically sound, I know my fasted and prayed for almost a year. I'm the one doing the fasting and prayer when my wife was sleeping at midnight. I must honestly tell you what happened to me. I fasted at 7 days or 21 days, 40 days. I did it. And I become accustomed to it to date. You understand? So I will tell you with experience that I have to talk to the stomach. They say that you talk to a woman is just as an earth. You speak to the earth for it to produce your fruit. So that's what I did. You understand? I know, I understand.
Sorry, Mr. Triumph. Wait, so um I'm trying to understand the fasting and prayer. Did they say that was what was going to fix the fertility issues when you were diagnosed, or what exactly?
It was all about timing. Let me put it that way. 1 year did not come, 2 years did not come. Then somebody called me on my phone that you have to take it at and you shouldn't joke with it. Because when my wife, I remember she got pregnant, she got miscarriage once, another one miscarriage 2 times. And the third one, they have to cut one of her fallopian tube off. So it remains one. So somebody told me that you must not take everything lightly the way it is. My sisters, honestly speaking, I went into fasting and praying. I put everything aside and I started praying for her. Let me know where things are coming up. I even resigned from my job just to be with her. And she got pregnant. You can see sometimes faith work too. It depends
You
on
were not
individual.
knocking again at faith.
I was knocking the same time doing it
Oh, okay,
now.
okay.
Faith will goes with action now. Everything works together. Honestly speaking, I fasted and prayed to forget to you guys will see Mr. Trevor. I guess when you guys say things that is not
There
fair
are
about me,
forces,
I just laugh. I don't want to go there because many of them don't believe it. Just be
There
real.
are forces.
Understand? I did it too for days and nights. When the
Thank,
something
thank
came,
God. Thank God you're understanding husband.
you understand? It does it. One thing does that. I know families were talking about it and things I don't want to listen. She doesn't know. You understand? At the background was saying things. I just laugh. I just say no, leave it. Everything is okay. So what I remember, she did the test in the morning. She said it was negative. I said, "Nah, lie, you lie." So I have to contact her faith and go and buy the test, pregnancy test myself. She's aware of it, and I gave it to her. I said, "I go and urinate the toilet, then come back." She was positive. You understand? I have to make sure that I click in it and it worked. Honestly speaking, it worked. So that's it. Even the second one was the same thing. It works. So that's just it. Understand? And then when the second time she was bleeding, the same time I said, Kilele yo, another one again. So I went again and start. People prayed for me and I prayed for her. So they told me that he's coming out. And then everything was good. Understand? So that was just it. Sometimes or we don't know what our parents did, where they went to. They say the sins of the fathers affect the children. It is true.
Mhm.
You guys might not believe in these things,
No,
but I tell you,
I do what you. I get your point, Triumph. Please.
May I interject, please, just to correct the record?
okay.
Triumph. Um, that is incorrect. The statement, the scripture you quote, that was then. That has been changed in Ezekiel 18. Uh, it is who sins will bear his own sins. The father no longer bears the sins of the son no longer bears the sins of the father, the daughter no longer bears the sins of the mother, as long as they seek God. So just to correct that, please. Thank you. The floor back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pastor. I would like to have this debate with you privately on phone. Understand? I will quote many for you. I cannot quote it on air now. I'm not prepared for that. Understand, Mr. Pastor? So it's like I'm happy what you just said. So that's just about me. I balance everything in life. Everything is always all about balance. You understand? Well, physically, spiritually, I balanced it. So I still believe in it. There is a force greater than the one you live today. So that's just it. eh. I know where I go to, and sometimes I just keep quiet when I listen to
You
people's
brush your guys again.
when I listen to people's story. It
You
touch
brush
me.
your
You
guys.
understand? Hey, can you please mute yourself, please? When I listened to my sister talk, I was crying at the background. I'm a man so
You are
emotional.
a liar, Tayo, if you do not.
This elderly man. This elder.
Monisoro for you.
You don't hammer around. My God.
Mr. Tunaba, why is it that you read my mind so
Mr. Triumph, I believe you. It's only my opinion right now that matters.
Must you say everything?
Cry. When you cry, we know here you are talking. Here you are talking.
I'm
You are a
not like
liar.
Jago. I was emotion. I'm a
You
man of
can talk like
emotion.
that, so you
I
cry.
don't I don't I don't bring my openly. If you see me, I'm a serious guy, but please, but if you touch me, I'm a sensible person. You understand? Just like when my friend told me he got married, he was showing me the videos. I was just shedding. I was just full of emotion. He was shocked. He was shocked when he saw it. I wasn't like Jagun that was crying on the air. You understand? I don't do that publicly when there's video and things like that. But when I'm with my close people, it got touched, and that was it. I hardly cry. I hardly cry. You understand?
If you can't do it on the air,
Tokwe, I was emotionally free.
your emotions are not real. If you can't cry on the air, your emotions not real.
Why would I cry on air? It will be on record, though. Not
So we have another question on the screen, and I'm going to start with electricity, then we all go around. The question is, can faith influence decision about medical treatment for infertility such as IVF or in vitro fertilization? So electricity, we are going to start with you. Thank
Uh,
you.
thank you very much. Can you go to the next person? I'm trying to do something to put on the screen
Okay,
for better
Tokwe,
understanding.
you're next.
Okay, so in my own situation, I had mentioned that my tubes were damaged because of the fibroids I had. So medically I was already certified that natural um you know conceiving was not an option for me, but IVF. Yes, I was spiritual with it. With and that's why I'm able to identify with Mr. Triumph. Yes, I was being prayerful. Church. All those. I won't really say that fasting. I really didn't do the fasting. I was prayerful. I know my mom was praying for me and doing all the fasting too. For medical reasons, I really can't fast, but I explored all options. I was out from the onset. The moment my tubes were medically certified as being damaged, I had made up that mind, religion or no religion, I'm going to explore all options possible. And I had that discussion with my husband. Adoption, was the last resort on my husband's mind. He didn't want to even go that route. He was focused on IVF and then surrogacy. But we were still both praying together about it. That's all I have to say on that.
Thank you so much. Based on the question we have on the screen, my own opinion is I believe in science, maybe because of my job. I believe in science, and at the same time, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. But in the case where there's nothing wrong with you, both scientifically, you take it to God. And some people who say they are traditionalists, if you believe in that, hey, what works for you. But this is what I want us to think about when we answer this question. The lengths our people go. I've heard stories of women drinking all kind of stuff, going to have their self cleansed in a river, like they have to give them a special bath and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, this is like I said, to each his own. For me personally, do I believe in science, and at the same time I believe in God. But I believe at the same time, be transparent with whoever you're dealing with. When I say transparent, be open about whatever you're going through medically with whoever you want to get married to. If you know you had this history, whatever history you've had with your gynecologist for women who have heavy bleeding, stuff like that, discuss those things with your partner. And I even encourage women, take your fiance, your whoever you want to get settled down with, take them to this appointment. Whatever question, concern they may have, let them ask the doctor as well. And you, as a woman, you should make sure your man is being taken care of. For men, I advise for them to see a urologist twice a year. Yes, is very important. So, as a woman, we need to as well remind our husband, remind whatever relationship, whatever you're involved in, like we need to be involved. Like sometimes I know a lot of our men don't like going to medical checkup, and I won't say if it's because they are overworked or they are so busy. But one, I am of a big belief that health is wealth. You have to take care of yourself in order to enjoy what you're working for. um Leave to work and not work to leave. So we need to learn to take care of ourselves and be transparent with whatever we are going through. Talk to your partner, no matter how. If we can sit down and talk about money, you can sit down and talk about anything else. So I'm a great believer on that. So I just want electricity. Are you ready?
And no, please go to the next person, please. Thank
And the last person is going to, could you please put up the names because the screen is black. I can't see anything. So I'm working on the laptop so I can pull up. Thank you. And the next person is going to be Mr. Blackstone. Thank you. Mr. Blackstone, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
Right.
right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Emma. Yeah, I do believe that faith works actually, right? And it depends on the level of your faith. For example, I have seen people who were certified by the doctor that they can have an issue, and they believe and we're praying, and to the surprise of the doctor, they got pregnant, and some of them were told, "You have to, we had to abort the child because of for one reason or the other." They keep on believing, and at the end of the day, they have a normal child. I know somebody here who had that problem. She had I don't know the name of the issue she had. She had a sickness, and because of that, she do had normally miscarriages and everything. It come to a point I said, I'm not going to. They do remove the baby, said you can have this baby. And the last one said, I can't remove this baby. I will keep it, and so on and so forth. She believed, and then her faith saw her through. And when she put to bed, right, that sickness was also healed, right? And that woman today, I think, she have about 4 or 5 children. So, these things, it depends on the faith of the individual, right? Depend on the faith on the individual. But there are some, God work we say God work in a miraculous way. So we cannot actually tell. But one thing I believe that your faith in God or your relationship with God matters a lot. The level of your relationship with God matters a lot. And I think that medically, God is also God is also involved in medicine, in medical aspect, right? So I remember the miracle of Jesus Christ when he spat on the ground, rubbed it, and gave it used to touch the blind man's eye. And the blind man said, go and wash, and then the man received his sight, So I think that's also a part of medical treatment, actually, right? So in everything with God, it depends on the level of your relationship with God, right? And if you have a very good relationship with God, a deeper relationship with God, God can turn anything around for you. Medically, it might be impossible, but in God, nothing is impossible. So it can be possible depending on your relationship with God. And that also determines your faith that you have. And as the Bible says in the book of, if you believe and you do not doubt, you can set that mountain, move, and it will be moved. That's what it is. So I believe in the Bible, I believe in faith, and I believe that God can do anything for any person who has a deeper relationship with God and have an undoubtable faith in God.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Mr. John Abba, you're going to be next.
Thank you once again for giving us the opportunity to talk about. I don't know what you guys are talking now is making me thinking back. My big brother is a deeper life pastor. He prayed for. They were married over 23 years, and they did a surrogate to work. So I don't know. And my children asked me, say, why did Uncle wait too long? Why didn't he do it earlier? I told him he was telling us that he's Abraham. So what you guys are saying are confusing me. I think, can I say I was confused, but I'm more confused now.
Oh, no, Jonaba. Jonaba.
Yeah, Pastor, don't be more confused. One person testimony
You have to separate it.
cannot
You
change
have
everything.
to separate the science from you have to separate the science from your prayer. And
Could you hold on, please, Mr. Janaba? Welcome, Mazi Prince, California. Do you mind turning off your camera, sir? Thank you.
He doesn't hear English, speaks Spanish. He lives in California.
No, he can hear me.
Mazi Prince, I think you're frozen. Are you frozen?
Okay.
There's no network in California. There's no network in California.
No.
Etide.
California.
America. America. Okay.
So, I mean, the person that started the whole confusion talk is Blackstone. He say if you have a good relationship with God.
I just started any confusion. It's just it's whatever. It's what I've seen people. I know people who have gone through it.
Yeah. So you are telling me now my big brother is the pastor of the Palace. He's even the
it doesn't matter what church he belongs to. Actually, it depends on his faith. It doesn't go to any
I will
church.
tell him that the brother came to this show and he's telling me that I think he needs to go.
His faith was too small. His faith was smaller than the mustard seed.
No, it's okay.
Tell him.
Nobody is righteous because of. I told you guys to talk to this guy in Spanish. He will not hear English. So
Oh,
I
Jonathan, I'm
don't.
enjoying you. We're enjoying you. We're
You
enjoying you.
guys, it's what is science, and what if we are talking about faith. Everybody uses faith. It doesn't have to be a good Christian or not Christian. I think faith is just
But I think
a.
the deeper life case is not normal. I don't know what is really
Why?
wrong
Why
with
is
some
not
people.
normal? Why is not
Yes,
normal?
because
Oh,
this thing that Elder Janava is saying, I have somebody again in the same kind of situation. They will not agree to adoption. They will not agree to surrogacy. They will not agree to anything until maybe quarter to go hours. This is when they will start running around. This is very, very saddening. I don't know the kind of doctrine that they have in that church. Sorry that I'm out because
it's all about
it's
individual,
it's. I
Mr.
have
Kenneth.
somebody
It's all
that
about
is going through the
individual.
same situation. You know, so
If I tell you my own experience, you know that I from France. I traveled to Germany to go and see somebody that came from Nigeria just to touch me on my head before I go
oh,
back to France.
As in a
okay.
as in
Oh
a
my
pastor,
God!
as
Triumph
in
That
a
is
one,
there
pastor,
on
that
the
one I
Mr.
will not
national
do.
Triumph.
level. You guys gonna
Wrong
keep us
belief.
here
Mm-mm.
today.
That's wrong
Triumph,
No,
belief.
please.
no.
So,
One thing is that one thing forget that triumph. This is me
Mr.
talking now.
Triumph,
If
that's a wrong belief.
let me tell you something you don't believe. Today, I learned how to pray. Formerly, I put my faith wasn't going higher as I want to. My faith works only in money aspect, financial aspect, not other things. Everybody has their grace in different degrees. If I pray for you to be rich, you'll be rich. Nothing will stop it on this earth. But if I pray for you to get something, I have to meet somebody higher than me. Everything is all about relationship with your God. If you're not close to somebody, you cannot call that person directly. Now, there's some people you have to pass through the secretary. You understand? So that's just it. So I know we are a worker. Understand? My wife did not work out. I'm the one, the man.
what Triumph? Why don't you allow me to finish? Triumph is
Okay,
not
okay,
that
okay. Sorry.
politician that run from Nigeria.
Oh, no, my God. Continue. Let me leave you alone.
Adama, you guys have to warn all those guys, man.
On what, Jonaba?
I
What has
never finished talking. He's talking
okay,
over.
No,
we are
Okay,
go
finished.
ahead, Mr. Janeba. You can go ahead,
somebody
please.
has to
Let's
come
not
from.
interrupt so
Somebody
that
has to come
everybody.
from Nigeria to
Yeah,
talk to
Triumph
us.
likes talking a lot. I know. Don't worry. I have me and him. We are going to fight before this segment is over. That's all.
Don't worry.
That is our
Kenneth will
normal
come and
distance.
you and Kenneth believe in the same. He will come and touch your head for the third one or the fourth one.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we don't go to that, but go
All right.
ahead.
Oh,
All
You
right.
can finish.
That's it. Thank you, guys. I think faith is whatever you make out of it. I don't want to miss the same thing. I think I'm not. I believe everybody faith, whatever you believe in, work for you. That's what I believe in faith issue, and I think whatever make you comfortable is prayer. I think I always tell people life will be so much too much for you if you don't believe in something bigger than yourself. And sometimes it's when we are in situation where we know that we have tried humanly possible, then we look up to something bigger than ourselves. But then science is nothing wrong in trying. Like I said, my daughter asked me, why did uncle wait for this long if he know this is the way to go? So what am I trying to say? Seek early help and get it done with if you need to. God is God of science too. Thank you all.
Jonaba, I want to push back in regards to your, is it your cousin, or did you say your
My big
uncle?
brother.
Your big brother. It's, to be candid, for someone that's gone through this, it's hard. He may have been pushing back, hoping that God will change the situation. And if you recollect what I had said, denial is a major issue. When you don't want to, speak it on your life that you have an issue, 1 year becomes 2 years, becomes 5 years. I have a friend who's been married for 17 Yes, she's educated, she's smart, she's a Christian, but she just believes on the faith aspect that IVF is not is not right spiritually. By the time she realized it was okay that to explore that option, she had done 15 years in the marriage, and then she was diagnosed of lupus. So
And that's what I
it
said.
was
I
too
think
late.
what I'm saying is that I think I said seek early help. It's difficult. It's tough. You want to believe in faith, but I'm talking about my own big brother, and I don't shy away because he has gone even himself. Have gone to their churches and tell people not to go through what he went through. And if we don't speak to it directly, it's not an easy decision. You want to do everything humanly possible. But 25 years, come on. Want to be like my big brother? Are you 25 years before you make your own?
Nope, you need to be
Okay.
realistic. I agree with you, Janaba.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. My big brother wait for 25 years. So that is too much years
Yeah.
to wait.
Yeah, Jonathan, sometimes there are some decisions that are very difficult to take. There are some
Yeah. And it's
decisions.
and the
It's very
earlier we
difficult.
accept some certain things,
Yeah,
the
yes,
easier it
that's
get.
right.
I used to when I was into I live in New York for years. I live in Staten Island to be direct for years. And I used to go to my barber. I know I was losing my hair. And the barber told me, say, the earlier you accept that you're going to lose your hair and use razor to crepe it, it's better you accept that. If you be coming here every week, I'll be taking your money, but accept it. Because I was struggling with the bald head. But today I'm the most successful man alive. I mean, the
Oh,
earlier,
I,
Elder sexy. It's not called elder sexy. Yeah? It's going to be called elder sexy. Mm-hmm.
the earlier
Mr.
you
Triumph,
accept
I
some
think you're
certain
going to be.
things, you can overcome it than to wait for long. But I understand that it's not an easy decision.
Yeah.
But at least if you have people around us and we accept it, we especially like talk when I have a very good support of a husband. It's a good thing we're speaking not because of her only. Like I give the testimony of my big brother because he allows, he say it in
Mm-hmm.
publicly, and that's why I'm able to speak to it. It's my private and family life. But he also said that. And when my daughter asked me, and just my daughter is standing by me now. I said, why did uncle wait for this long? And then I said, ask uncle. And then he admitted that that was too long, and people should find early solution to it. It's just like you say, check up. I don't know what the checkup you are talking about. Whether the checkup is whether the thing is working at all, or it's just
No,
a whether
no, see your doctor. Let your doctor do tests, John
on
Abba.
the issue of Ghana.
Yes, to
Yes,
see
yeah.
whether
No,
it's
no, no.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
to see if it's
Let me
working
answer
well.
that. No, no, Tokwe, let me answer that. Yes, Mr. Janaba, when I say a test,
Yeah,
yes, you
okay.
need to go see your urologist. That's what
It's
their
not from you again.
specialty on
We are
your
talking
banner.
to other
Yes.
people, not from you
No,
again.
I'm just you asked the question
My
now. I'm
own is
giving you
working.
I'm
I
giving you
already.
this.
Are you sure, Mr. Jonaba? Eh?
Now
Check
you
the
bother
matter
my
too.
children. I'm not sure.
Mr. Triumph, you're
All
next.
right, thank you all. I'll take a
Thank
walk
you.
and enjoy you guys again.
All right, no problem.
No.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mr.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Triumph,
John
you're
Abba.
next. Yes.
I'm enjoying Elder Sexy. Understand now? They call him Elder now. He added sexy on it. The sexiest man in New York City. We
No,
salute him.
he's in Houston. Triumph.
He used to now. He said that when he was in New York.
That's when he was in here.
Mm, okay. One thing is that I believe in my God, though. You understand? I believe in God. So one thing is that, I'm a man of faith. And again, that if I want to do anything in this life, except I don't want to, whenever I want something, if I don't have it, I will not rest till I've gotten it. So it's all about individual and determination. Is one thing that can some people bear the pain, the timeline. You understand? So that's it. Even I remember the mother of my uncle's baby did IVF of 2 or 3 times, but Then she left her man, then came to my uncle. They just tried it. Bam, my uncle strike well. You can see. So one thing there's also it can be the problem of the man, problem of the sperm also or the egg. But one thing that is always is all about individual. And I know I'm talking with experience. I use myself what I don't know, I don't say it to I don't go into it, you understand? But it is touching. It is touching when you be like when I see couples in a meeting, others making fun of them. I remember myself those years behind. You understand? It's not easy when they tell you, you don't know how to do it. They'll be laughing, saying it. You to be pretending laughing, but inside you, it is paining you. You are crying. When I sometimes when you come back home, you cry inside your bedroom, taking your bath at the same time. But you just pretend as if you have to show that you are the one in charge. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But one thing just I used to tell people is when you just have a very good partner, moment you have a good partner, every no matter what comes in and out, your partner will be your umbrella. I have to be precise, and my partner is a woman because here in Europe, when you say partner, maybe you don't want to say that you're going with the same. Understand? My own partner is a woman, so that's it. So some people they hide that word partner because they don't want to disclose what what they what they got married to. You understand? So that's it. So one thing is that we hope and I wish people that are listening well not to be a victim because it's not easy when you because one thing is that when you see your woman complaining, carrying an people's baby, hoping that her own will come, because every woman wants to carry her own baby. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that when you're talking, every woman wants to carry her own baby. So one thing is that I sometimes I just look. That's why I'm the one that did that extra mile for her. And again, she got it, and she's a happy woman today. Understand? Now she doesn't disturb. You understand? So that's it. Like that. Do you know that when people say that making love is sweet? Well, but when doctor prescribe it for you, you did want to do it during the day, during the night, when you wake up, you know that it is a work. It does. It's
It's
not all that
hard.
entertainment. It's
Mm.
not that entertainment. So people can be saying what they want to say, but one thing that when you've gotten it, you just take life. Is when you come back from work from traveling, from your business, you know you have people waiting for you back home. Understand? That's why I don't travel more than 3 to 4 days. I come back home so that I to come and see my family. So it's sweet, it's okay. So I just wish everybody listening or going to listen lately also that I wish you guys have a very good time and pray that you will not fall a victim and make sure you do your medical checkup. I do every time. I check myself. Even last week Saturday, I just went to go and reach to look at my posture. So they have to stretch me out. Understand?
Are you
So
still
that's it.
checking? Are you still checking even after having kids? Are you still checking that part?
It works. So I confirm it with her. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm asking
it,
that. Do you still do checkup on? Because you said you didn't check up. Do you still do checkup
I
on
He
still
that
do,
never
aspect?
stop
honestly
now.
speaking. I do it now.
Talk man, he never stop. He's still waiting for the next one. What are you? Let him go and do proper checkup. Oh.
Thank you
Well,
so much,
like,
Mr. Triumph. Thank
okay,
you. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
I'll
I really
be
appreciate
So
it.
that
okay.
I'm gonna go to
you can
Mazi
have less
Prince.
prayers.
Okay, wait, wait. Please, Pastor, you can put me at the background. Understand? So that
I'll put you on the book.
yeah.
Oh, Mazi Prince is over to
Man,
you. Thank you.
man, Europe is something else. I'm over here dealing with not only their network, I'm also usually, Uber
You're
Eats,
in France. You're in France, no,
and
Germany.
I'm not getting anything.
Yeah.
I beg, make a rest. Okay.
Okay.
Janaba don't run come out. Should we say na Spanish? Only Spanish I don't understand. Okay. Oh.
Oh, you had that part.
I had it. Yeah. I had it. I was trying to turn off the camera on my laptop, and then it was giving me whole lot of trouble and all that kind of a thing.
It was freezing, Abby. Frozen.
Yeah, in I'm here in Hamburg or whatever they call it, bad
Hamburg. Yeah, in Hamburg.
yeah, bad hum.
Not
Why is
Hamburg,
it
bad
why is it
Hamburg.
bad?
Bad
They said
Hamburg.
it's
Bad Hamburg. No, bad means
yeah.
something like bad means something like a shower when you shower. Not
Oh,
bad.
okay.
That's the bad in English.
It means bad
So
network.
like a
It
shower.
means bad
Ah,
network.
when I see the name,
No,
the thing weak me, sha. You know.
we're in the hotel
Yeah,
now. We're in the hotel, right?
yeah. I'm in the hotels. I'm
Now,
in
so in
the
the hotel, that's the VPN. It's not the network, the VPN. So they have a very low bandwidth.
yeah,
So, Master
and
Chris, do you know what we're discussing? So I don't
yes,
highlight. Yeah.
the infertility. Pretty much
Infertility, surrogates, and adoption.
adoption. So,
Yes.
like for me, I am open-minded when it comes to things like that. When I said I'm open-minded, I am very much aware that people want to, base everything on faith, you know, to the extent that you see some people, they depend on a particular person, that the person prays for them, and then that the fruit of the womb is going to come. Um, I mean, I have a friend who actually, the wife was going to a pastor, and by the time he knew it, the pastor did wonders. You know,
Oh
instead
my
of
God.
the thing going in by itself, the pastor helped them in putting it in. And I told him, I said, dude, you could have chosen other ways other than that.
How
You
did
could
the
have
pastor,
chosen.
Mazi, how did the pastor do?
I'm
Uh,
confused. The
He doesn't
pastor helped them,
understand. He
eh?
doesn't want to go deep. The pastor
No,
helped
spiritual
no, the
them.
pastor ended up getting the woman
pregnant.
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 Yes,
Oh,
yes. It's always we do spiritual prayer. There's a spiritual husband disturbing you somewhere, and then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna help you. And I think what happens is that most of the time they hypnotize their victims. They hypnotize them because you will see a woman that will actually not agree to that man on the street, but being the fact that she's desperate, she go for it. And this guy, my friend that I'm talking about, is a well-to-do guy. The only thing is that the problem in the other room, it was later the woman kind of like confessed that whatever that he was producing was watery, you know, and that they tried to seek solution and all that stuff. Right? I told them, I said, this is something that is watery doesn't mean that it's not curable. It's curable. You know, Going for holy water is not gonna do anything. Most of these people are all crooks. They use different things to brainwash people. You know, and I guess it got so bad that the thing is, what would he do? Would he chase the woman out of the house, or would he come clean to the family? What would he do to the pastor? So in all this, it becomes a complicated problem. You know, um, the problem was the pastor was saying that he didn't drug her, that she gave it to him willingly. And we were like, you are a pastor, you use the advantage of being a pastor to do this, which is bad. But the fact is, the child is already in there. So they have to, you know, let the woman bear the child and, go from there. And involving the law enforcement is kind of like complicated because the whole thing is just so complicated. You know, are you gonna tell them, oh, that the pastor deceived the woman, or what are you gonna say? They don't know all those things. They will tell you, is it rape? Are you charging this person for rape? Then be ready to produce the rape kit and all that. But if it's not, then you deal with it. It goes on. When the child is born, later on, probably you want to put it as we want to put a child support on the pastor. It's up to you, you know. But in all, I would always tell people, please go for medical checkup. Go for medical checkup for Christ's sake. Eh? After all, when we talk about Jesus, Jesus was tempted after he fasted. To the extent that the Satan came and told him to jump from the mountain or whatever it is, that God will send the angels to kind of protect him. Well, what did he say? He said, "You do not tempt your God, your God. You don't do that." And a series of other temptation that he brought forward to him. Why am I saying this? When some people believe in that prayer is what is gonna cure their problem, no. Put in the work. If you are not good in the other room, sorry, it's not gonna happen. No miracle. No miracle is gonna do that. Except you want pastor to sleep with your wife or somebody else to sleep with your wife and then come back and they will tell you, oh, that's your baby. You know. IDF, I will always think my brother-in-law, at some point we had to encourage him to do it, and he did it. You know, he did it. They got twins, and all that. So there is a reason why all these things are there. Science is to complement your faith. It's not there to complicate it. No, it's not there to complicate it. But when you believe in the all those pastors and all that stuff, I'll bet you, in as much as I don't want to call any pastor's name, there is a certain pastor in Warri right now that's being dragged by a blogger, you know, for saying or producing water and saying it's a healing water. And the part is NAFDAC. What is NAFDAC doing? Was it tested? And people will be buying. And if anybody say anything, they will say, "Oh, you are against Christianity." No, that is Christianity of insanity, because they are ripping people off, and it's the poor people that go there that give them all, probably their savings, all for miracle, for one miracle or the other. And the pastor knows very well that what he is selling, it's not right. They know, but they want to enrich themselves. Did Jesus sell a miracle water? Did Jesus sell a miracle soap? People need to wake up. Thank you for now.
Thank you, Mazi, for
Yeah. May I come in? Is it possible I say something?
Would you wait after Mr. Steph, then you speak? Let's
All right.
Mr. Steph go next.
Thank you.
Mr. Steph.
Hello dear.
Good evening. Thanks for coming, Mr. Steph. Did you get the topic?
Yes. I've been listening before I joined. I think this is an interesting topic, and I hope it encourages some people that are listening, because there is no judgment. There are some situations anyway that we human beings find themselves in as a result of no fault of their own, and this topic actually falls into one of those aspects of life. Um, Unfortunately, like some of our speakers have said, some people have decided to take undue advantage of some people that have such problems, which is very, very condemnable. Um, I think this one is actually something that anybody can relate with, because if you don't have the problem yourself, you could have a friend that have the problem, or you could have a family member that have the problem. You know. I don't know. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Because I actually have a case that is very, very close to me, and that is my elder sister. You know, just like what John Appa said, these ones waited for it's more than 25 years. Just last year that they finally had a child. And one thing I want to say, respond to what John Appa was saying, was that it's not usually an easy decision to make. You know, these are people that believed so much that the miracle is going to happen the next month. You know, it's going to happen the next year. And before you know it, 1 year later, 2 years, 2 years later, 10 years, 10 years later, 20 years, and counting. And like every other person, nothing else you tell them, no counsel. After much counseling, they will tell you, okay, yeah, what you said is true. I'm going to think about it. But yet, their mind is still made up on what their mind has made up on until it took them forever. Um, Personally, I believe that there are so many ways one can, you know, father a child or mother a child. There is no, it mustn't be one single path that should lead to it. And nobody should feel bad if you can't have it the way your neighbor or your brother or your sister had their own. All children are gifts from God. It's just a privilege that we are given to have somebody that calls us daddy or mommy. You know, most times, even children that are not your own biological children could take care of you better than the ones you call your own children. So, what then are we really worried about? You know, whether you adopted the child or you did it through IVF or you had it through CS or whichever way you had it, they are children that comes from God, and nobody should feel bad or make anybody to feel become judgmental to somebody else or something like that. It doesn't really. It's not what. It's not. It's not proper. It's not proper. I believe that God can do all things, and that is what some unscrupulous elements they have using to take advantage of so many people. God can do all things, yes, but that does not mean that God will do all things, and that's the difference. But people don't get it, and that leads to desperation. And whenever people are desperate about something, they can go to any extent. You know, God can do all things. That is true. But I still repeat that that does not mean that God will do all things. So people should learn how to use their common sense when it matters most. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steph. I'm going to go to you, Electricity, if you're ready. Are you ready?
Yes, please. I'm ready. I'm listening to everyone. I'm gonna address the argument that Mazi Prince made in terms of pastor's pregnant. You see, it's look at it this way. It's a position of trust that they're abusing, and it's like in every situation in life. Yes, they picked out. They are picked out because they kind of claim to be representing God. So theirs is kind of more on the high side there. But as somebody said, they are dressed as man of God, meaning that there's a man in front of their name before God. So uh, they are subject to fall. So my point is this: they abuse position of trust like every other person, like our politicians, like our lawmakers, or whoever, even like some of our employers and employees, even friendship abusing position of trust, and that usually have a devastating effect. The pastor you are referring to is Jeremiah 51. It's no secret. Anything that entered YouTube, I don't think you should withhold mentioning the person's name. His name is Jeremiah 51. I don't know him personally, but I know where his church is. Just after the F1 roundabout breach, so I know. So he's a controversial human being. I know that. So it's not a new thing. You see, there is what I always call thin line between faith and stupidity. What do I mean by that? What some of us consider as faith is actually an act of stupidity. And for us to be able to come to that point to identify that, then we have to know the literature book called the Bible that we are reading. And that is why we also have these issues of problems for people not being able to running from pillar to pole, searching for what is not lost. Uh, I I don't agree with people who says that IVF is against faith. There is no scriptural evidence to support that. No scriptural evidence. It's all man-made stories. So when we put out message there, we have to be extra careful as to what message we put out there. I mean, we're going to have this conversation in private, not in the public anymore. In that, you can't hold yourself on a high standard and hold your partner on a lower standard, or hold down a higher standard. No, it's like I stated earlier, if we the men can stand up for them, it will go a long way in that regard. So I hope you have a change of mind, because a lot of people have heard you, and I appreciate you being who you are. But that position needs to be checked all over again. I'm not advising you, I'm just making my own argument in this regard. So rather than people running from pillar to pole, they can exploit surrogacy and adoption. I'm a big fan of adoption. You are giving somebody hope. You are giving a child a home. You are giving a child uh, everything the child couldn't have. I'm a big fan of adoption. So I think it's something we should explore. People searching for fruit of the womb can exploit. Yes, every woman wants to carry their own baby. But what if it doesn't happen? What do you do? Why don't you give somebody a child a home, a place to stay, love, everything? That is my position. Thank you very much. I yield the floor back.
Thank you. I wanted to say thank you to all our wonderful panelists for engaging in this topic. And I was going to open it up. If anybody has any question for Tokwe, she's willing to take questions. And if there's anything else we want to discuss regarding the topic, the floor is open. So this is a free floor now. Thank you.
Blackstone.
I have a question.
Yes.
No, not actually for talk, but for the panel, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen experience, right, of men who have had children with other women, and then they get to marry a new woman, and that the new wife couldn't put to bed in that house. But when the woman leave that family, made the man to marry somebody else, she will get pregnant and have a child. So how can we actually explain this situation? Because the man that he got married to first have already have children, right? Not from one woman, from different women, right? About 2 or 3, and that this woman came in, she couldn't have a child for this man, and when she left this man within 1 year or 1.5 years, then she had her own child on a different man. What could be the situation? What could be the reason, or how can we actually fathom out what actually happening in this situation? Thank you.
Blackson.
What?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question, right? 2 things. Either these 2 things are involved or one of it.
Okay.
I've had a story where a Nigerian guy, got married. All these young girls in Nigeria trying to have her conceive, but she wasn't conceiving. So they kept going to the hospital. Each time they go to the hospital, the doctor will say, "Oh, there is nothing wrong with both of them. They are fit to have a baby." So they will go to all these churches. They were giving them prayers and all that. Not until one day, the man was doing some cleaning in his closet, and he found some pills. So actually, those pills were kind of contraceptives. So you see, I don't want to say that this situation that the woman deliberately refused to have a baby for this man, and when she remarried, she now have a baby for the other one. So this kind of situation or this kind of event could happen. Then the second one is somebody here, I think Trump, was telling us how he was going to churches and all that for prayers. See, I'm one person that I believe in science, strongly believe in science, but also I believe in supernatural. I believe in some powers, some forces, unseen forces. And I'm not saying this based off of what people told me or what I heard. It's because of what I personally have experienced in life. So there are forces. I don't know, some of us must have had witches and wizards, right? Yeah, such a thing happen, we have it. Some
Okay.
people
Can I
would say
also,
village
okay?
people. I don't know about
Okay.
village people because I'm a village
Let
man
me just
too.
give you let me just give you the true picture of the situation, what actually happened, right?
Yes.
So the man is a native doctor, right? So this woman came to meet the native doctor that she need a child, she need a medicine to her to make her get pregnant, right? That's because they were my neighbors, our neighbors in Nigeria, right? So the man is our neighbor in Nigeria. So that's how the man converted the woman to become his wife. Already, this man already have children already, grown-up children and wife, because we all are friends and everything, right? So this man was there for years after converting her to his wife, year for year, but the woman could not put to bed, could not even get pregnant. So after some years, the man had to leave the man to go and marry another man. And within 1 year, she got pregnant and put to bed.
So basically, a criminal in the name of a voodoo man or voodoo man kind of stole this woman. You see, we have a lot of them back home, and that is why I will never encourage anyone to go to a pastor's house or pastor's church or any voodoo man's house. you are very vulnerable. They can hypnotize you or pray you. I don't know. They can just corner you. Hey, my wife go to juju man or pastor. You go from there because those people I don't trust them. See, he cornered the woman. Maybe it's the woman's God that is fighting for her not to have anything to do with this man, because having a baby with someone, one way or the other, you've entangled with this person for life. You have something in between for life. So maybe it's a God that is fighting for her not to have anything to do with such a man, and
Okay.
uh, and she was
Okay, can I
delivered.
thank you for your opinion. I just want to recognize Uncle Pansat that came in, and Uncle Pansat, could you please unmute? Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. How's
Yes.
everybody,
Welcome.
how's
Yes. I don't know
everybody
if
doing?
you know what we are talking about, or do you want me to highlight?
Yeah, go ahead and refresh it and highlight in case other people just join like me. Go ahead.
Okay. We are talking about infertility, surrogacy, and adoption. And the other topic was regarding how far will you go for IVF? Does it have anything to do with religion? So that's what we're talking about. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a truth. By the way, hello to everybody who's on the panel and those who are listening to this panel. A lot of these type of discussions obviously have to do with liberty, personal choices, and then regulated by law in a civilized country, right? But I believe you're putting this set in Nigeria. Is that the case, or is this just surrogacy and adoption worldwide? Is it based on Nigeria itself? Can you hear me?
Are you asking a question?
Yeah, I'm asking
Yes.
you the scope. Are we talking about, because there's a big difference between a civilized country where the laws work
Mm-hmm.
and people are protected, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The kids have rights and things like that, and
Yes,
then
sir.
surrogacy and adoption in a country such as Nigeria, and other countries like that, where the laws really don't work that well. Because the reason why I wanted the scope is if the discussion is centered about Nigeria, then
Yes, it is,
okay,
sir.
about Nigeria, okay. So now this is why we're all fighting for strong constitution, a strong country, so there'll be law and order, so that individual liberty, somebody like myself, a Republican and conservative person, I could live my life according to the way I want it, and then I could also let others live the way they want. Surrogacy is just an arrangement in which a woman who is the surrogate herself agrees to carry and give birth to a child on behalf of another person or a couple or whatever their parentage. So it's complex, but there are rights, choices people make. There are many reasons why somebody would want to do that. Some don't even do it for money. When people are having issue, reproducing, there are people who are in this world and they want to help such couple, and of course, you have the monetary aspect of it. So it's actually a choice between two or more parties, and should not involve government intervention or holier than thou, somebody coming to tell them what to do. You understand? But they also are abuse, and the child that's coming into the world. So it's something education can solve, even if the country spends sizable amount of money educating the people. That's why we need all these things to get into the 21st century, because life is hard. Life is not black and white. There are difficulties as even in the first world, and this is one of those. So that's why I tie it in. I will tie it in with our country itself, with our politics, with the education. And so that's where I would look at that. It's no place for, in a country such as our own, where you have all kinds of religion and non-religious people. Nobody's supposed to lord it over somebody else. Your religion's supposed to be your personal business with God, right? So, but we do have the problem. So you want solutions from me, maybe in the next go, that would deal with the country we have and not the one we wish we had, right? So right now I'm dealing with it with the country I wish we had. If you want solutions with the way it is now, what do I think about it? Then we could do that at the next go. Now, adoption is a different ball game. It's a good thing. I believe we do have decent laws in that regard. We still a corrupt society, and we don't want people buying and selling children. It's a form. It's something that a desperate person, desperate people do desperate things. So in that murky world, you're gonna see people having kids just to have them adopted and then make money, and just like in the former case, but that one is kind of different. So the adoption should be encouraged. It's a good thing. If the kids are protected, the states should really step up and give the kids an alternative where they're cared for. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the circumstances that yield adoptable kids is not one that can be controlled. It's beyond the control of individuals and even far beyond the control of states. So there could be teenagers who don't want to have a baby and they didn't protect themselves and they have a baby and they give it up and nobody cares for those kids. That's obviously situations where both parents are gone and things like that. So adoption is a good thing. As we discuss this thing, we do have to have some caveats, we do have to be realistic, knowing that it's like pretty much almost every other evil in a society is unavoidable, is going to be there. But we should not also beautify it as if adoption is just a hunky-dory thing that people go there and it works out all the time. It doesn't work out all the time. So we have to, or it's like a designer thing, a designer conversation to say, hey, look, a woman wants to keep her shape, therefore she adopts and stuff like that. I have very close people who just recently adopted and it's working out very beautifully. They were actually, not long ago, they were accosted. Luckily for them, they have the papers, and I was very, even though I cared about who was giving me the anecdotes, but from the story they were telling me, I thought at least the police, they were vigilant enough to have demanded papers, but just like everything else in Nigeria, ends up being that they wanted money. Even when they were presented with the papers and say, hey, call this agency and all that, they still wanted money. And I wanted to win your show with that aspect of our lives. But we do have to have a better country now. For this type of topic that you discuss after we discuss politics, there is a nexus. There's a nexus to the politics. So I would encourage this pastor here to aid you guys, try to link it up with the earlier show and subsequent shows. Well, we have to have a good government for any of these things to work beautifully the way it's supposed to be. For the discussion not to be abstract. Do you understand what I'm saying, Tope? So go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there is a nexus. I'll end it right there. I believe I'll be preaching to the choir. Now, sometimes when it sounds condescending, when somebody like me is talking, I sometimes have in mind all kinds of people that are listening, not necessarily the choir. Like everybody here is very smart. I've pretty much heard everybody's opinion here. and we have a fantastic comment section. There are a lot of waywardness there, and I participate in it. So I also know that a lot of people who just listening to the show, they don't comment to this platform or get on the comment section. So they do have to know that no matter what their aspirations are, it's linked to that politics. We have to get it right so that then everybody's going to mind their own business. Yeah, I'll end it there. Thank you very much for the
Can I ask
opportunity.
you a question, Uncle Pansat, before you go? I just
Yes,
wanted
ma'am.
your perspective and your opinion on this. Why do you think our culture tend to blame the women when the issue of infertility comes up?
All right. You know, that question shouldn't even have an end like that. It's not specific to that. Human beings have always tried to blame women, right? Like you go in the Bible, there are very strong women over us that have a voice. And you have to pay particular attention to those women because in those days they had a voice. It was worse then. So they blame women for everything. You know, but this is one of the reasons where Africans, especially Nigeria, were backwards. Over 50%, I would say over 50%, but at least 50% of our populations is relegated, discarded, disregarded, disrespected. And that's actually where the brain power of our country is in the women. So they blame them for everything, not just this. Chauvinistic foolishness. You got two people, either one can have a problem, let's say in a relationship, in a marriage, and you just assume the infertility is from the woman. It's ignorance. It's stupidity, and it's ignorance and stupidity. So which one? What are you going to talk and leave out the rest? Right? It's ignorance, and we cannot say it's only Nigeria. In this case, it's universal. Some countries have done much better than that. Even when they see it, now it's not like women in the Bible. There were powerful women in the Bible that saved their tribes. Very powerful with the voice. In those days, powerful women. Then you go through history itself, anthropologically. Even Britain, some of their queens expanded their monarchy and all that, their kingdoms. Conquered us, for example, when a woman was a queen, took us over. So even when they see there are strong women that can do just as much or better than women, they still want to ignore that. So particularly on this topic, though, the short answer obviously is ignorance and stupidity, because something could be wrong with the reproductive system of the man. He may be shooting blanks, for example. A son of a bitch could be shooting blanks, and he's blaming his wife, right? But it's not just particular to this issue. I could make it sexier, but I'm not gonna do it because Pastor is right there. But what I would say is that we have to condemn it. It's also linked political, right there, cultural, political. Women have the same rights as men, same, and they should try. In this case, the women should empower themselves politically, business, all sorts of things. That's why I look at the Ziani, for example, one of our ministers of petroleum, did just what the men did. If the men like Buhari, others who were minister of petroleum didn't steal, then she didn't steal. If they stole, then she stole. But they're particular about her, trying to bring her down. What is she supposed to do? If you're minister of petroleum in an organized thing where men are taking money from left and right, she's just supposed to sit there and look at them, right? So they try to knock them down when they serve all our public servants that are women and minorities, especially from the South. By the time they leave office, they're destroyed. So it's all in the politics. It's not just women, it's also in the minorities in our country. Somebody, as many crooks as you saw go through Buhari's reign in that country for 8 years, the only scapegoat they have is Emefiele. They first charged him with possession of firearms. Up till now, he's incommunicado. so unfair. There's nothing that man could have done without Buhari's approval and sanction. So that's what's happening. We have to politically get it right to where the law applies to everybody equally. And we have to liberate the women, give them voice. I don't like it sometimes. I don't want my woman running their mouth at me. But the currency in a relationship, respect. If I want respect, it has to be reciprocal. They have to, I don't want any kind of love that is coerced. So thank you for the opportunity to answer that question, Tope. And if there's no follow-up, then I will be exiting the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Pansat, for joining and enlightening us. We appreciate you.
May I say something, please?
Yes, electricity.
Uncle Pansat, thank you very much. I wish you have gone that way that you wanted to go and not consider me, because I would have. Honestly speaking, I'm not running the show. However, I believe I'm speaking on behalf of the ladies. Possibly to have you as a special guest in our next podcast, if possible. And you're 100% right. These things are tied into politics. If we don't get it right, it becomes very challenging, even in the homes as well, too, as we can see what is happening in the country, hunger in the land. And honestly, if I have my way, I end the show with your submission because you kind of summarized everything, but it's not my show. I just wanted to come in to say a big thank you for your submission and your compliment on the other day in the comment section. I hope we will have you here next week in terms of some of these things. And you did made a very valid argument or point, giving the women the voice or their voice, and that is they have a voice, and that is why the show was created. And I want to believe you're a big supporter of it. And I want back over to the women to see where they move forward with this with you. Thank you once again for your audience here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor. By the way, is there any update on Dr. Damages? He has a lot of fans and a lot of people are concerned, but we're all in the dark. Is he okay? As far as
It's perfectly okay. Like if we let me go on the sense of humor side, you sent him to hell. He came back. He went back again. He's being held in the third heavens. He will soon be released in the third.
yeah, we thank God. I called him.
He's okay. Honestly, 100% is okay.
Okay, very good. I know I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you, sir.
So you guys try to hold the fort down until he gets back. And no, Atope, I don't appear as a guest. I do come on though, so and I could handle almost the same thing from a platform as a panelist, or even from the comment section. I do a lot better on the just as effective from the comment section, but I will come on the panel, not as a guest, but as a panelist. I am the way I look at somebody coming on as a speaker, as a guest, is supposed to lay foundation. So I normally just don't take anything on the whim, and say just generically you come on as a guest. Before that's why when people come on the platform as a guest, I try to grill them, drill out their curricula vitae, like they say, and try to have them lay a foundation. One is the colonel that came here. He wrote himself a constitution. Here we are complaining about there are soldiers writing our constitution for the 1999 documents that were operating the country, and he actually had the guts to write himself a constitution in his back pocket, and he wants to give it to us. The constitution is supposed to be something the people pick out delegates to go and hammer out all the stuff. And it's not even done by the senators or by the House or the president. The people, the sovereign people, are supposed to pick what they call, colloquially and otherwise, the delegates. They're supposed to go there and then represent the people as far as the constitution. It's nothing. A colonel puts down together, scribbles down, and come down, especially soldiers from our army that are unprofessional. So that's my way of saying that it depends on the topic. There's a topic you're going to bring. I'm a scientist, right? A capitalist. If there is something I have expertise on, I'll come in and I'll lay my foundation. I will say, hey, look, I went to school here. I taught this in the university. This is how good I am on this. I've written about this. It's been peer reviewed. Now, I've done this research. Here is the abstract. Here is the biases on it. And this is the problem. This is the solution. Pastor, are you with me so far? So that guides somebody to come in with such a big title as a guest. So that's what I'm avoiding. If a topic comes within what I have expertise on, I would appear dramatically on camera. But right now, my concern is taking back our country. So now, I'm a Biafran, I'm IPOB. If there's something that you need a Biafran to do, I'll come on camera. I'll come to talk about that because I'm gonna be a soldier. I'm gonna get in those. If this government doesn't do the right thing, like we've all been working hard to have them do the right thing, the next battle is gonna be where we're gonna need sand dunes, right? Don my helmet and my AK, and I'm gonna go there and do the fight. That's where it's gonna be. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes.
Blackstone, you have anything to say before I bring in Mr. Triumph?
Yes, I said if we have questions, we can ask, right? I want to ask one question. So this is for you, for Adama, and for Tokbe, actually, and for the people who like to put in their voice into it. We know in Nigeria today, before people get married, they go to do their genotype test, right? So what will be your advice to people who want to get married, that what they should know about their fertility and their chances of pregnancy? Should they also go for such tests for them to know that this is the problem that is involved in this, maybe that we are going to encounter once they are married? You understand me? So if everybody is going to go and check their genotype, so is it also, it should be a good, is it going to be a good idea if people should know these things, that is my guy, is my mom has a fertility problem, or is the woman having an issue with the womb, or any medical issue that will prevent them not to have not to get pregnant as early as possible, or what are going to delay their pregnancy. So I want to have your input in this area, that what will be the advice for the young people who are, or couples who are going into marriage?
I'll go first. Thank you, Blackstone, for that question. I'm a big believer in being straight up and open. And I had mentioned it earlier on with my situation. My infertility issues were all happened before I got married, and I'd had that discussion with my husband. We had that conversation and we talked about the pathway to go. I was totally straight up open. If something goes wrong with the IVF situation? Are you open to surrogacy? Are you open to adoption? We had this open conversation. So when I got to the situation and the point where even IVF wasn't an option to me due to health reasons and damage to my tubes, we didn't find ourselves in that awkward position. I'm a believer that it's not right to bring a child into this world to be sick. And that's where the genotype situation you talked about, the testing needs to be done before you get married. Yes, I strongly believe before you get married, do the testing. If your blood group doesn't work, it's not right. I just don't think, I don't believe love is all you should consider, especially if you're planning to get married and have children. It's not right to bring a child that will have medical issues for the rest of their lives into this world when you could have prevented it. That's just my own belief.
Okay. Okay. The issue of genotype, I just use as an example. That is, I think say in a regular test for every couple who want to get married, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
should it be also? So should this infertility or issues with pregnancy for the man to know if the woman will be fertile or have an issue with getting pregnant, or the woman should also know if the man will have issue in impregnating her. So should that be a test also something that should be done regular by every couple go to get married, as they are doing as they also do the genotype test?
Yes,
That was my question.
I'm
This
up
is
for
my
it.
go ahead, Tokwe, finish.
I'm totally up for it. Even when I went through surrogacy at the point of fertilizing my egg with my husband's sperm, I actually also went through uh, what science now calls genetic testing. The embryo was tested to actually find out if the unborn child has genetic issues. And if that was the situation, I wouldn't have allowed, I won't go ahead with keeping that embryo. That's the truth. There's no point hurting a child and bringing a child into this world that no fault of theirs to be sick. That's just my take. Adama.
My own opinion would be when you said should we check for medical when you said checkup, are you talking about genotype? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not genotype. The pregnancy test with the man with the woman, where the issue with fertility with the man with the woman. Can these things also be tested, or to know if the woman can be able to get pregnant, or can the man be able to pregnate the woman before they go into the actual marriage or actual relationship?
Well, those things can be done if you are planning to marry her. If you are planning on, or if you guys are just dating, why will you want her going through those tests if you know you're not going to marry her?
Yes, I talk about people who are
It's not
who are
married.
planning to get married,
Trying to
who are
marry
trying to get
Adama.
Or
married.
people who are
Yeah.
planning to get married. Oh yes, for
Yes.
people who are planning to get married, I would say they go do their lab, like the woman should go see a gynecologist if she doesn't already have one. The man should go see a urologist, like I said, and know his sperm counts and stuff like that. But both of them need to go for a full checkup and really be transparent with whatever they're going through. And if the woman, I would suggest both the man going with the woman to her appointment because he may have some questions for the doctors, the gyno, and he will ask those questions and get all the he will get all his questions answered, and for the woman as well to go with the guy to his urologist, and she will get all her questions answers as well.
Okay. My last question is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that IVF is not cheap, and even the surrogacy is not cheap, even adoption is not even cheap. Like coming to Nigeria now, whereby how will you advise? What you advise to people who doesn't have that financial power, that financial strength to carry all this, to do all this surrogacy or IVF or to adopt a child. So what would be, is there any way that they can be able to, any work around they can, that's, is it any work possible medically or not, that when they say I don't know, maybe say they don't have issues medically, they are okay and things like that, but at the end of the day they are not getting issues and everything, and then I don't know, but so is there any way around it that these people can be able to have children or get pregnant, have their issues and that stuff, because there's no money for surrogacy, there's no money for IVF, even there's no money for abduction. So what would be your advice or opinion about that?
That's why they need to go see an infertility doctor. If they are not able to have one, she can be able to tell them the options they have. Because me answering that question to you right now, one, I don't give out medical advice. Two, I don't know the patient. Three, this is on a live distance. So that's
Yeah.
one thing. That's the disclaimer which I made, that everything we have been discussed is here on the channel. I'm not giving out any medical advice. So if I was in your position, I would advise them to go see a specialist that specialize on infertility. That's what you asked, right? That they're having a hard time, but they don't want to go through surrogacy or
No, I mean
IVF.
they don't
They
have the
think
money
you-
to. They don't have the financial
So they want
strength.
to know what other options they have left for
Yeah, is
them.
it possible there are other options and
Yes.
things like that?
Uh
This is
huh.
generally Nigeria for the poor people. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I'll say that. I'll suggest that they go see a fertility
Yes.
specialist.
Okay.
Triumph. Thank you, Blackstone. Mr. Triumph,
Thank
you had
you.
something to say?
Yes, one thing I would like to recommend what Blackstone just said. I don't want to. One thing just that I prefer that people do their genotype test. Put love aside. You guys have to be logic because of many people that has uh, the negative part of it. Their children all got lost because in Nigeria we don't have. Not everybody has that financial strength to take care of it. Because I remember one of my siblings very close to me. They both have two children. One died due to negligence. Due to negligence. So when the information came to me, then I took it as a responsibility that every two weeks the child goes to go and see the doctor, and I decided to be the godfather of that child today. So I just assist financially. That's just one thing. Just that looking back home, we are not all that. That's one of the issues that if I was listening to what person is saying, not only the constitution, there are many things to we have to work about, we have to work on, and I believe with time everything we go well. But as for now, one thing that they should do the genotype, then and also do the checking option that if the woman or the man, both of them are fertile, and if it is no, they should seek for solution. There's always a solution to everything. There's some things I cannot talk on air. I can talk backstage. I'm a backstage man. I can tell you some things, Mr. Blackstone, but I'm not saying anything now because they can use it against me later. They say you said this. So I'm always being careful to say things. Yeah, I'm serious. That's why I don't call names. Understand? So they should check. Oh, everybody at table will check. Forget about love. Oh. Check, check, check. Because when everything is not right, they say when jungle don't mature, you will know if really your partner loves you or not. Because some of us they say, you get money. He's doing
I
well.
agree with what you
Who
say.
does it?
I agree with what you say.
It's more than
If you
love.
if you don't
Uh,
mind, do anybody have
before I
anything
forget,
else to
no,
say? Because we're
before
about
I
to bring
forget,
the show to a
Adama,
close.
I know, Adama, let me say something to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I forgot to say it earlier, so I'm wishing you happy birthday, long life, and
Thank you.
good continuation of that attacking. If you don't attack, I will attack you, whether you like it or not.
You
Okay,
see?
take good care of yourself. If you don't attack me, I will attack you. So
Adama,
there's no
Adama
problem.
did tell me she's like, I was sending to you a wonderful
No,
present.
Mr. Blackstone, we'll discuss it backstage. We're
Okay,
about to
no
go the
problem.
program now, so I
Yeah.
think we're done. Ekene, are you there? Or
He has
Ekene,
gone. He
Master
has
Prince, are
gone.
you here?
Mazi Prince, your final words.
Sorry,
It's not
already
there.
sleep, already sleeping.
He's not
No,
there.
no, it's not.
Zoe, hush it up. Zoe, hush it up. Your mouth.
Electricity.
Just to thank everyone as we go backstage, as I want to go backstage, as we go backstage. Thank you very much. Uh, I believe we're bringing this to an end, if I'm correct. Can you correct me, please?
Absolutely. Thank you all. We
Uh,
really
I'm
appreciate
gonna
you
I'm gonna
for
play
joining us today.
the just 2, 3 videos again, then I'll bring it to an end. Then we'll go backstage.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, my people. LEMFI, the International Money Transfer Service, is here to provide you with a simple and efficient money transfer experience with no fees and the best rate in the industry. If you are in the US, UK, and Canada, LEMFI is here to serve you and help you transfer money to over 21 countries. In all ramifications, they are better than their competitors. We at the Dr. Damages Show are happy to partner with them to satisfy your needs. To that end, anyone who signs up with them using the referral code DOCTOR will get $30 cash back the first time you send $100 or more. From now until July 10th, 2024, LEMFI will enter your name into a raffle draw where you can win an iPhone, Apple Watch, MacBook, gift cards, and others. For an icing on the cake, the first 20 people to use Dr. Damage's code, DOCTOR, will get a signed copy of one of his books, This American Life Safe or Chimamanda, The Adventures of Little Mermaid's African Cousin.
Never, ever accept because you're a woman as a reason for doing or not doing anything. All over the world, girls are raised to make themselves likable, to twist themselves into shapes that suit other people. Please do not twist yourself into shapes to please. Don't do it. If someone likes that version of you that is false and holds back, then they actually just like a twisted shape and not you. And the world is such a gloriously multifaceted, diverse place that there are people in the world who will like you, the real you, as you are. We females are so often socialized to silence. Don't silence that voice. Dare to take.
I'm on mute.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.